As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the f*** up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
What is going on? Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff and Booner. It is Tuesday, August 26th, and we are back with another great week. I know this guy. Booner,
what's going on?
You got a beard, right? You got a beard still, or?
Well, I got to spit this gum out. I don't know why I still have gum in. I've learned in the industry do not chew gum live on air. I tried to trim my beard today, and you know what? I think I've been pranked. I'm going to say that.
Why?
I think maybe someone might have switched out like the guard that I use on my razor and made it smaller and like put a smaller one on there. Cause like I King said beard. No, I get it. I'm working on it. We're growing it out. But I like to trim it. Sometimes it gets a little like when I'm growing it out, a little, you know? And so today I tried and it just looks like a lot of it left. It's just gone. So yeah,
hey, you know what? We'll
figure this one out.
You look
Thank
good.
you. Big day too, by the way.
Yeah.
You know what happened today?
Yeah. Why do I think you're going to say something completely unrelated to what I think you're going to say? Say it. What happened?
Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce.
I knew it. Yep.
What a moment in our world, huh?
Yeah. News.
That's big, right? There's a lot to talk about. That's a big one.
I could give a damn, to be honest.
Bro, you got to think about it. Taylor Swift growing up, her whole life has just been like, her music is only to get married. Is her career over now? Like, can she still make music? She's getting married. It's over.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that was going to happen. It's a PR stunt. I don't know. I don't believe it.
I think it's real, man.
Something's going on. It's just.
Jeff, I'm going to stop you. There's nothing. We love the Kelce brothers. Stop you right there.
Yeah.
Let me stop you real quick before you get us in trouble. We don't need. I think you forgot about something. We love the Kelces. It is not a stunt. We're good.
Definitely not a PR stunt at all. Absolutely not.
The boys might be like one person removed from Taylor Swift at some point in our lives. So
Jared Booner, Jeff Campbell says he's going to get half.
I actually thought that today. I was like, if they get a divorce, I wonder if they sign prenups because Taylor Swift has so much. She's a billionaire. He's far from that.
Well, you know what? Shout out to them. All right. Happy for them. All right. All the Swifties out there. All right. There you go. You got Travis Kelce.
What are your thoughts, Jeff? Did you have any thoughts?
I don't care. I really do not care. I saw it. I said, okay, how does this affect my life?
It does a little bit. We support the Kelce brothers in a very high manner.
You know what? Good for them. Good for them. Love wins. All right. Love wins. Good for them.
Eric Taylor said Boone sounds like a Swiftie. Her music's good. Am I wrong?
Here we go. For that, we had I found that out a lot about Michael Gentry on
He's a big Swiftie too. We
took a trip to Nashville last August, and he was intoxicated. We were all intoxicated, and he started spewing his love for Taylor Swift and how he appreciated her catalog of music, which I did not expect that. It was a very random thing to bring up, but I found out a lot about Gentry that night. So
I stand by Gentry's side too. I the whole time when we were in Nashville, I was like, I'm with Gentry. You have to respect the music at the end of the day.
Sure.
Good music.
Of course. Awesome. I'm sure we'll have potentially a daughter one day and Taylor Swift will be relevant. But until then, I really could care less. Happy for Travis Kelce, though, and Taylor Swift. Good for them. Cool. Awesome. Things happen for the Lions. All right. And we're going to get to it today. A lot of things transpired. They finished off all roster cuts, which I have the updated list that Doc posted on his website and the Lions put out. And they also cut somebody or waived somebody that there is context to that everyone's freaking out about. And I understand why. You have something to say? You want to go ahead and take it? I mean, what do you know? Go ahead.
Tough start to the show. I'm sorry. Lukas text does it. I clicked on it and it put me on full screen. Really threw me off.
But the stuff that happened today, man, it started and people were freaking out about it. Obviously, the Detroit Lions officially waived rookie edge Ahmed Hassani with an injury settlement. And, when you see that on your timeline, if you don't know completely the context, it's easy to freak out about it. Like I had to do a double take for sure and look at it and say, okay, why the injury settlement? Because it's a very specific reason, right? It's injury settlement, which we have great beat writers and great media in this city that provide context to fans. And I put out a video today kind of giving that information. It wasn't something that I just noticed on my own. Obviously, I read articles. Shout out to the doc. It was actually his article that I brought up on the video that just kind of explained it. And then I think now most of the fan base understands why he was released, which makes sense because he'll be back. I say all that to say he will be back. So don't panic. This is just the way of doing business in the NFL when it comes to like roster spots. And there's so many, I think fans, including us, you get mixed up sometimes with like, you just see waived or released and your brain goes to they're gone, but there's so many like loopholes in that there's always a why. It's kind of like the Dan Skipper thing yesterday. Like they let go of Dan Skipper, but we all know he'll be back kind of thing. This is the same thing with Ahmed. It's different, but it's similar. He'll be back in my opinion. And the reason why I just want to read this part where Doc nailed it. And I just read this part of it and he explains it perfectly. He says, per NFL rules, teams are allowed to place a maximum of 2 players on injury reserve with the designation to return as part of the post-training camp roster cutdown process, okay? And they already have guys that are on injury reserve that are out for the season. Dan Jackson, obviously, Ennis Rakestraw, those guys are ruled out for the season. Ahmed Hassanin has not been ruled out for the season, so they didn't want to put him on IR because then he would be out for the entire season. They think he'll be back, but the problem is, it says here, players placed on injury reserve, physically unable to perform, or the non-football injury list must miss the first 4 games of the regular season before they are eligible to return. Ahmed obviously is not. He has an injury longer than that. He's not going to be out 4 games. It says here, Detroit already had 5 players on injury reserve. Players placed on injury reserve prior to the start of the regular season are out for the year unless released by the team with an injury settlement. In that case, those players are eligible to sign with a new team right away, but must wait the duration of the settlement before returning to the Lions. So
do we know when the settlement ends?
I think with his injury, I'm not 100% certain with that. We'll talk to the doc tomorrow and get clarity on that. But when this injury settlement is done, he can come back to the Lions, essentially. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He's
for sure.
So people that are freaking out, which we'll get into like the edge room and what this means and why they have less roster spots in the maximum, all that stuff. But I'll say all that to say, Boone, like after reading into it, I have zero panic in me. It's not a big deal. I'll be back.
I still do have some questions a little bit because, and maybe I'm wrong with this, I did see some people tweet out that other teams, because he is technically on the waiver wire. So other teams, he still has to clear waivers to be able to get to a position to come back to Detroit. Correct?
I don't,
because he got waived. It's not like he got waived. I believe because I saw people tweet out and saying it's not likely that it doesn't it usually does not happen where players get picked up in the waiver wire with an injury, but it can happen. So there is still a chance, and that's where I want the Lions fans to know, like, I'm with you on that, Jeff. I think it's a lot better to know, like, hey, it's just part of the game. Like, they have to maneuver, and I think that's the biggest thing with this roster right now, and that people don't realize, because all I see on Twitter today with the 53-man cuts, and when they get down to 50, Ahmed Hassanin kind of getting waived, and, Dan Skipper, I see all these different things, and one of the things about it is, like, I see a lot of people going at Brad, saying Brad's making bad moves. He's not doing it right. When you have a good roster, Jeff, you have to maneuver it in different ways. And we haven't been in a position, I'll just say, quite frankly, in Detroit, we just haven't been in a position in our lifetime to where you've had such a good roster to where these maneuvers start to take place. Howie Roseman makes maneuvers like this. Guys out in San Fran, they do it. Kansas City's always doing it, and they're cutting guys, injury wire, all these different things, right? And It's just the way it is. When you have a roster as deep as this, you got to figure this thing out. And you have to find room, and you have to get creative in different ways. So that's probably what Brad did with Ahmed is just said, hey, we got to find a way to get creative here. And he probably had a good conversation with him, I'm sure. I see shout out to his pops is in the chat. His dad's in the chat. Said that Ahmed's going to be good and he's going to be back ready to go. But I think that's a big thing. It's just they probably had a conversation about it, and that's kind of the plan of attack with it. And hopefully he clears waivers. I'm guessing there's like a 95% chance he clears waivers because he is injured, right? Like a team's not going to pick him up, throw him on their
like
roster.
Ryan said, a team would have to sign him and then put him on IR.
And I don't think a team would do that. Like an injured rookie, right? And that's nothing against Ahmed. Ahmed's going to be a good player. Just more so roster spots. There's 53 of them, right? And every team is battling to try and make room. So you would think that he gets through, and then once he gets through, I'm sure he'll be back. And it's probably, honestly, Jeff, I don't know what the injury is, but it kind of, I like the fact that they did this because that means he's not out for the year. When you were gone last week, that was one thing that I brought up with this injury was he didn't get put on IR right away, which shows a sign. Yeah, which shows a sign if he didn't get put on IR instantly that they think at some point this season he can be back. So I'm with it. I think it's fine. I don't think it's as crazy. Yes, I know we tweeted it out and everyone's tweeting it out. He got waived. Instant reaction. We have to put the news out there. Obviously, as kind of the day goes on, you start learning more about the news and what you're able to do as a roster. But yeah, no, I think that was probably the biggest one today. Yesterday, obviously, Dan Skipper and Hendon Hooker, but today was probably the biggest one was that. So it was an interesting, the roster, honestly, Jeff, I know we're going to talk about the roster over the next hour. I think it's an interesting what Brad Holmes is doing with this roster.
Yeah, Brad is very, I think what we can learn, or not learn, what we have learned is Brad is very intentional. He's very calculated. He doesn't do things without knowing, what's going to happen after. Like he doesn't just make moves, sporadically, or he's not spontaneous.
He has a plan, always.
Yeah, there's always some plan in place. So whether it's a handshake agreement with a guy like Dan Skipper, where it's like, hey, Skip, we're going to release you, but we're bringing you back. And Dan's like, hey, I'm coming back. There's something to where there's a plan in place. I think the people that, and I've seen a little bit of this. I think most of our chat's probably on the right side of things, but people that panic and want to go at Brad for like every single thing, that's like, dude,
crazy.
You have to cut 30 players. I mean, it's just like part of business. I mean,
so I told you earlier, you can't like fall in love with these players and I get it, you're fans, so you do, and it happens. A lot of these guys, like there's gonna be a fan favorite, right? Like it's gonna happen. Jackson Meeks, like it's gonna happen to where a player's gonna get cut that you liked. Brad's got to make those moves, especially on this roster, and whether we agree with him or not, he obviously thinks those moves are the best for the team. But I can't see a world where I've never, Jeff, if I'm just going to be completely honest, my Twitter mentions today, I probably saw the most SOLs, and I hate saying that word. I have seen the most SOLs that I've seen out of the fan base, of the Lions fan base, than I've seen probably in the last 2 years combined today. It went away after the NFC Championship game, so and right before that as well. After that Packers game, it started to go away a couple years ago, and then the championship game, and then last year. This is the first time I've seen SOL get thrown out there just so fast from a fan base. So fast. And it's honestly, I've seen hundreds of tweets today in my comment section and in Crunch Time's comment section, people throwing SOL in there. And I was taken aback. When I saw the first one, I was like, okay, maybe this is just a fluke. I saw 100 more come through, and I was shocked.
That's the problem. It's like, what are we doing here? Jason also says it's 24 hours, boys. I don't know if that's the injury settlement or what. I don't know if he's referring to that or not. I also see this comment too. Michigan says fans thought Darius Fountain was wide receiver 3 last year because of the
hand up on me. Yeah, I thought he was wide receiver 5 or 4. I don't know. Let's say wide receiver 3.
To what you're saying, I mean, they're going to fall in love with guys.
For sure.
We have to remember. I've made this mistake too. There's no one that has more information on these players than Brad and Dan. They have way more information than we do on every single one of these players. We get to see them when we go to training camp. We get to see the reporting. We get to see the preseason, but we don't know them on a human level. We don't know them on a day-to-day level. We don't know the ins and outs. Dan spends every day with these guys. So if they feel like a player's not worth to be on the roster, you have to now, are they human? Yeah. Are you going to cut some guys that maybe – I think they cut Trevor Nowatzki and ended up bringing him back like a year later. Maybe they think, okay, maybe we want to bring this guy back. But overall, they're going to have more information than
okay. Well, so let's two sides to this too, Jeff. I'm with you on that. And at the end of the day, it's like, and this is the people that like I can't stand a little bit in Lions Twitter. Like there's both sides to it. Like Brad's going to make mistakes with the roster. It happened. Like the Trevor Nowatzki thing. Trevor Nowatzki 2 seasons ago gets cut and instantly gets picked up by the Arizona Cardinals. is good in Arizona, and then they're lucky enough to somehow get Trevor Nowatzki back, and he has been on the roster since, right? And I'm sure as they look back at it, and this is the conversation me and you have had, it's perfect to kind of now hindsight look at it. When we started talking about 53-man roster 2 weeks ago, me and you had the conversation. It was like, okay, it's going to be hard to cut some of these guys because it's not only like who's the best player, but it's about positions, and it's also about like who's going to make it through the waiver wire and get back to you.
Right.
And I think that's one of the trickiest parts about all this, because like the Trevor Nowatzki thing a couple years ago, they probably were going to do everything they could to get Trevor Nowatzki on the practice squad, and they felt like he was a guy that was going to make it through the waiver wire, and he didn't. Arizona right away, boom, we got him. And that's where I think like the last 3 or 4 days, you're sitting there going, and Brad, and that was a conversation me and you had about the Hendon Hooker cut. And that was why a month ago I was so quick to say cut Hendon Hooker, was just because Hendon Hooker's going to make it through the waiver wire, in my opinion, right? Like, I think if you cut a guy like today, Jackson Meeks, I don't see Jackson Meeks making it through. Like, there's going to be a team that has a young roster who's going to have a couple extra spots, had a wide receiver not work out in camp and not look good, and they're going to go after a Jackson Meeks who had a hell of a training camp. And instead, Brad cut him, right? So like, and Dominic Lovett makes it. So that feels like one of those moments to where like Brad thinks that Dominic Lovett would have made it through. Jackson Meeks will make it through. So there's so many, and Ryan put it in there, there's levels to it. Like, you know how many like layers there are to making these decisions on this roster? And that's where I think fans need to kind of take a step back, because at the end of the day, you want to say SOL, okay, go ahead. And Jeff, I told you earlier today, I hope some of these things pan out the way that we think they are with Brad, with the 53-man. I can't wait. And when the day starts to come over the next 48 hours and roster starts to get filled up and all these SOL people and all these, I told you, I said, I'm going to tweet 500 times, and I'm going to quote tweet every single person who said SOL, who said that Brad doesn't know what he's doing, that said Brad's not going to do this. He's not going to, I can't wait to do it. Because I think there's a plan, and Brad has a plan. There's a reason there's only 50 guys on the roster right now, and you're supposed to have 53. There's a reason. Like, he has a plan in place right now, and people just need to sit back and kind of just let this thing play out.
Yes, Steve, I love this comment. Is great. Steve says you can only take 8 players off the IR for the entire year. They didn't want to put Skip and Hassanine on IR when they know they're coming back. It's a loophole. Yeah, that's actually probably the best way to say that. Bulls turn, love it over Meeks because of special teams edge. Yeah.
Meeks was good in special teams too. That's why I don't get with people with that. Me and Easy watched special teams reps all day last Thursday. I think it was Thursday, Wednesday, whatever it was. And Meeks looked good on special teams, and so did Dominic Lovett. And there was times Dominic Lovett didn't look great on special teams, and Meeks did it. Like, I don't think that there was an edge, in my opinion, with the two. I think they were pretty dead even. I think what could have really did it is the draft pick, honestly.
I think that definitely plays into it.
I think that was the biggest reason, if I'm going to be honest.
That definitely plays into it, for sure. I see Austin says, yeah, but only 3 defensive ends with very little or no depth.
Should we have that convo now?
Well, actually, yeah, we can have it, because I have another comment after this one. King Horse says, I like Hooker and Broderick as people, but I also like my aunt and uncle, but I don't want them suiting up for the Lions.
Fair enough. I think that's a great point from King.
Shift God says, I'm hoping he brings Zadarius back, or I'm hoping he brings Zadarius, will be back, but if multiple contenders are interested, I don't like our chances. So let me, how about this? How about I go through everyone they cut, and then we'll get to the Zadarius thing? Because I
think we could do the Zadarius and the D-line stuff at 8:30. That's why I just wanted to check, because I think that's probably the biggest news, or theories at least.
So I have the Lions put this tweet out. They pretty much announced everything that happened today. They put Ezekiel Turner on the reserve injured list, waived Ahmed Hassani with an injury settlement, and then they released all these players. So they released Miles Adams, a lot of defensive linemen, obviously, offensive linemen, Tristan Colon, Tom Kennedy, which we talked about, Pittman, Skipper, Malik Taylor. But you go down here, and you could see what they did in terms like Maurice North. Do
you want a popcorn? Do you want me to read it?
Yeah,
popcorn
go ahead.
Read? All right, I'll popcorn it back to you, brother. Mitchell Agude. I don't know. Luke Barku. Ronnie Bell. Ronnie Bell. Shout out Ronnie. Ronnie, listen, he had from what I saw, decent. That wide receiver room is so stacked. Gunnar Britton. Keith Cooper was a big one, Jeff. Let's remember that one.
Yesterday.
We're going to have a conversation about him here in a minute. Alan George. Deron Gilbert. Shout out to Ron, man. We met him at Tyler Conklin's camp. A great dude. Eric Hallett, that was a surprise one. Hendon Hooker, Zach Horton, Deion Jackson, Zach Johnson, Jacoby Keeney, James. Ian Kenley was a surprise, Jeff. Nate Lynn was a big surprise. Broderick, not as much. Jackson Meeks, a big one. DJ Miller, Mason Miller, Michael Neese. Michael Neese was one, Jeff, I thought had a chance. Maurice Norris, Gunnar Oaks, Tyson Russell, Jacob Sailors, Steven Stylianos. He's nailed that name, by the way.
Yeah.
Lauren Strickland, I thought he had a chance as well. Isaac Ukwu and Nick Whiteside. Shout out SVSU alum.
They ended up waiving Isaac Ukwu, so they waived more defensive linemen. So
that's why yesterday everyone was like, remember, people in the chat, Booner, you're an idiot. Ukwu's still on the team. There's a lot more moves to be made, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
And they made them. Keith Cooper, people were like, Booner, shut up. Keith Cooper's still on the squad. They made the moves.
They did. They placed Miles Frazier, which you already know that. We've talked about. We've already known that. Ali McNeil, Malcolm Rodriguez, reserve physically unable to perform, and then Josh Pascal's on the reserve non-football injury. So that's all the moves. I mean, there's a lot of players they got rid of here. The official roster numbers is 50. So they're at 50 players out of 53. So they have 3 open roster spots, which could mean a lot of things, right? They could be looking at other players that are getting cut. They have room for additions, whether that's free agents, whether that's players that were waived, released. It just kind of depends. I haven't checked out all of the NFL and saw who was cut. So I don't know, like, great options yet. But I do have the official roster here that we can look at that the Lions kind of put out, which is actually a great tweet. So I did not even know this, but they put it out. We can talk about that defensive line room because Nate Lynn right now, who they have in the defensive line room, and I'll just read it and then we can go through the roster afterwards. But the defensive line room, they have Marcus Davenport and Aiden on the edge, AQM on the edge, and then everyone else is kind of interior. Or a little bit edge versus, like, they could play a little bit edge. Roy Lopez, Pat O'Connor, DJ Reader, Chris Smith, who they kept, Ty Leak, and Mackay. And Mackay and Aleem, Mackay's back. He's trending back. But Aleem's going to be out. And then who else on the defense?
Well, Josh Pascal, Levi O out.
That's who it is, yeah. And then Levi's out for the year. But they don't have, like, in terms of edges, they only have Marcus, Aiden, AQM.
That's it. 3 edges.
And then I saw someone say, like, well, Pat O'Connor can play a little. Like, guys, like, true edges, they only have 3 guys that play edge, essentially. Which people can interpret it how they want to interpret it. They could say, are they opening up another one of those edge spots for potentially a Zadarius Smith, who there are people that have, according to them, inside sources that say that there's no way that's possible, or it could be maybe another player that's a free agent or a player that got released. But I would like to think that the Zadarius Smith thing is still very much alive. And again, when I go back to saying Brad's very calculated, I don't think these moves would be made to where they have 3 pure edges in that room.
Yep.
Without thinking, okay, what are we doing here in free agency? Which it could be Zadarius. It could be, people bring up Clowney, whoever it is. I do believe Brad will make a signing of one of those guys. He's going to bring in a defensive end. Yep. I just, that room is too thin not to right now. It just is. In all due respect, like, I'm not going to go down the Davenport hole again, but we know what happens. We know what has happened in his career. They need more than just AQM. All right. And even if they bring back Ahmed, he's out for most of the year.
Yeah.
So that's tricky. So I actually believe I'm probably more confident than I was a week or 2 ago about the Zadarius stuff because of who they cut. I'm more confident now, for sure. That's exactly like my point with this stuff. And yesterday, when all that kind of came out, was when this starts happening. Like, the Nate Lynn one was the kind of the eye opener to me because, like, all right, can we just use some common sense, Jeff? I'm sure you'll agree with this as well. Dan Campbell makes a comment the other day when asked about Hendon Hooker, and not specifically Hendon Hooker, but talking about keeping an extra quarterback instead of, keeping depth on the D line or the O line. And he goes, it's hard to look at what happened last season and not want to keep more depth on those positions, right? Like that, those are Dan Campbell comments. Right.
They don't go out there and cut 1, Hendon Hooker, 2, Dan Skipper, and then more specifically, you go to the D line room, which guys who had very good camps, and Nate Lynn, Keith Cooper, Isaac Ukwu, Mitchell Agude. Like, I could keep going down the list of guys who got cut, who had good camps, that everyone was saying, hey, this guy actually has a legit shot. And the reason isn't just because he's playing the best ball of his life. It's because this Lions roster, they want depth at the D-line after what happened last year. So there's no reason they're like, hey, we're going to go in with the guys we have now, and we're not going to get extra guys after the season you had last year on the defensive line crew with all of those injuries that they had. You would think they need some insurance. So the fact that, like, if we're just connecting the dots here, and this is what I hate, where some people just refuse. And you know what? Coach Walk said it there. I don't know if it'll be Zadarius Smith. That's fine. My point is, and I put the tweet out there today, I used a picture of Zadarius Smith. Didn't specifically say they're going to bring Zadarius Smith in that tweet, but it was more so, hey, connect all the dots of what they've been saying over the last week of who they cut and what they've said about why they would cut specific players. They obviously have a plan in place to add to this D-line room.
Right.
They do. Like, Brad has a vision of what he wants to do. And, like, I would love it for it to be Zadarius Smith. Brad went on the radio a couple weeks ago and says they've been in contact with Zadarius Smith. He hinted like he probably just doesn't want to do camp. I still think Jeff, I'll say this. Still think there's a 75% chance that Zadarius Smith by the end of the week is a Detroit Lions player. And he signed with the Lions. And I don't think that's crazy to say. Like, when I tweet this stuff out, man, I mean, people are just commenting being like, this is the dumbest thing. Connect the dots. Like, quit being a fanboys and quit looking at it in that aspect and be honest with yourself. Like, they obviously want more D-line depth and they want another piece in that room, or else they would have kept Nate Lynn and they would have kept Isaac Ukwu. Because some of those guys, and Keith Cooper, like, some of these guys might not make it back to them in the practice squad. If you don't feel like these guys are going to make it back to you in the practice squad, Jeff, why leave 3 roster spots just wide open? Brad Holmes isn't that bad of a GM, because the same people who are like sitting there being like, Brad's not bringing anyone else in, but then those same people will be like, Brad's the best GM in the world. You're contradicting yourself. I hope I used that word right, Jeff. I'm pretty sure I killed that word. Yep. Contradicting yourself. Like, it's mind blowing to me that, like, you're playing both sides in that aspect, to where you're saying Brad's the best GM in the world, but you're like, like, he's not bringing anyone in. Why would he leave 3 roster spots open if he's not going out and bringing someone in those rooms? Why? He's obviously putting more work in, and he has an idea of who he wants to bring into this building. And it's obviously not Keith Cooper. It's obviously not Isaac Ukwu, and it's obviously not Nate Lynn. And those were the next 3 guys up in that room. So they have something going on. And Eric Taylor said, Big Z, Skipper, and one more. Why would they have just released Dan Skipper if he would have just made the roster anyways? Well, yeah, maybe it gets rid of some of the guarantees. Why not just be like, hey, you're our 51st guy? They did it the last 3 years for him. So it's just like, let's all, like, let's be honest. Let's stop, like, use your brains a little bit. Let's stop being fanboys and let's be like, hey, Brad's working. Let the man work. There will be an edge rusher in this building within the end of the week. It's going to happen. They're not going to go into game week next week with AQM, Aiden Hutchinson, and Marcus Davenport. They're going to make sure that there is a guy that comes in and he's going to be able to compete next week for you. And it might be a guy from a different roster too, Jeff. They might make a trade. I don't know. He has a plan, though.
Of course. Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, Toxic says, do you think Hasani will get picked up by someone else? I don't think so.
Injured.
Yeah, because he's injured. So if they do pick him up, he's on IR. He wouldn't be able to play for them anyway. You don't see that happen. Could it happen? Yeah. Highly unlikely, though, that it does happen. Kenyatta says, how much do you think Z will sign for? That is the $1 million question. They have the money. The thing I'm curious about with Zadarius would be just the length. I don't know what he wants in terms of the length. Is he okay with taking a 1-year deal? You know, I think that's what ideally Brad would want to give him. I would like to think that Zadarius would be cool with that, but maybe he's at the point of his career where he's like, hey man, I want 2 years. I don't want 1 year. And I hope that's not the case, but the number, I think it would probably be around 10 million, give or take.
Bro.
I don't know.
Dude, Doc was saying like 6 million. I would be, and when I said too, like, if you're not going to go after like the Trey Hendrickson and we're having that conversation, right? Why not just give Zadarius, like, if it's a 1-year deal, just give the guy some money. I know there's money that rolls over, all of that. Pay the man. Get him on your roster. You have nothing to lose. You're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, what they pay Davenport? Like, what was it?
4 million? I think it's like a max. I think it's up to 4 million, maybe with incentives.
So
maybe
they'll
even
probably
less.
give
It might be
him a couple
2.
million more.
Yeah, I would be fine, dude. If they did 10, I know it's an overpay. I would be fine with it. It's money, right? Like, it's the NFL. You have so much. They have like $40 million in cap.
Let's see. I see Coach Wall. Could it be a trade?
That's what I was thinking. I think there's no way Brad just made the moves he did today without consciously like being like, hey, I have something in place. By the way, Jeff, someone put it in the comment section. I just looked it up. I went on their website and found their roster. James Houston made the 53 man in Dallas.
Did he really?
He made the 53 man. Good for him, but that's I did say like a month ago, I said, imagine James Houston goes into Dallas and does what he did his rookie year. That would be heartbreaking.
He might be DN1, to be honest. I don't know what happens with Mike.
Well, I think they have like the depth chart here. They have Micah Parsons first, Dante Fowler second, Donovan Izaraku third. Guess who's fourth?
Oh, okay, of course. Yeah, James.
I don't know if that's how they did it, but I'm just.
Yeah, and Judon is with the Dolphins. He's with the Dolphins, so he's off the table. No Matthew Judon. He made the roster, of course. They signed him, so he's off. He's no longer in consideration. Eric Taylor's third rounder for Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think Brad, if they're going to make a trade, Brad, what I've noticed about Brad is he doesn't trade for players unless, like Zadarius, they knew they can get out of it. Like it has to make sense. Like they don't just trade for guys. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Like Brad isn't really the most aggressive guy via trade. He doesn't really make a lot of those type of moves. So I don't see. That's why like the whole like Trey Hendrickson thing is funny to me because I don't see Brad making that type of that level of trade. You know, I just don't. I don't see that. I think Brad's way, and if you want to call them cheap or whatever you want to call them, it's whatever. But he'll do it through free agency. Like it'll probably be someone that got cut. He'll bring in. I don't think they trade for like AJ Espinenza. I would love it. Shift God. I like AJ Espinenza. I've brought up before. I know Lucas has. I don't like that. I don't think so. Like the biggest trade he made on ARF, he traded Stafford for Goff, but that was like a trade that had to be done. Stafford requested that. So he made the deal and it was a great trade.
And he actually made a comfortable deal because he was just in LA. That's another thing I think with Brad that he's actually spoke about that. They like to make deals that they're comfortable. Like if it's a player that they kind of have an idea of what their character and what they're about.
Goff. He knew Goff, yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
And they knew Jared Goff. And I don't know about Zadarius when they made that move, but it felt like they were comfortable to make that move in that moment because he was the best edge rusher. So obviously there are one-offs, but at the same time, it's Brad does want to make sure and they've mentioned it before. They don't want to just be bringing random players in the locker room that could, affect the culture of what they're doing. And obviously we know the culture's built, but they're still very, very aware of that with different guys.
And that's why I don't think Kayvon would be like Kayvon. Like
imagine that.
He's a good player. Yeah. Imagine that. Like Aiden and the two top 5 picks in that year, but I don't think Kayvon fits. He doesn't. Can
I say something that might
too. He does. He needs a contract.
I want to say something that the people might not like. If Brad doesn't get Zadarius in Detroit, that might be one of the biggest swings and a misses, I think, since he's been the GM.
You talking about just acquiring him or not signing
just making sure he gets back to Detroit. Because the issue is, and I think today the news that comes out today, and I didn't have this mindset until this morning, but when Jeremy Fowler puts out the tweet that says there are multiple contending teams that are looking and then have reached out to Zadarius Smith, it would be heartbreaking if Dan just, hey, we don't want to do 10, we'll only do 8, and he refuses to go 2 million more, which isn't that big of a deal, right? And he does it because of, we don't want to overpay. And Zadarius Smith ends up going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Or he ends up going to, I don't know, the Tampa Bay Bucks, or he ends up going to the Rams, or he ends up going somewhere in the conference that is another contending team that you might have to face. Or if he goes to I don't know, back to the Packers or back to the Vikings. I don't know, but like a contending team, that's a team that potentially when it comes December, January, February, you're playing. That's the only reason that I'm saying it. And then people are, Booner, you're a fanboy. Is there? That's not, it has nothing to do with that. It's like, yeah, he can help you out. But as soon as you start seeing other contenders are reaching out to him, Brad should have picked that phone up right away and go, what's your price? What do we need to do? Like, we'll get this done. We have the money. We're not sitting on our hands anymore. We have 3 roster spots. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's get it done.
Get to Detroit in the morning. If you're not here yet, get to Allen Park. Let's get this deal done. At this point, there's no more leverage. It's we'll take you for whatever.
Yeah, I think Zadarius is like the perfect contender signing. He's a vet. You know what he is? He gets after the quarterback. Even though he's not the greatest run defender, you don't need him to be. You have guys that can defend the run. You just need him to get after the quarterback. And he's good insurance on Davenport. Listen, I don't know what Zadarius wants, but I would like to think that he'd be okay in the role that he'd have in Detroit. It'd be like, hey, man, you're going to play a lot of third downs. You're going to get after the quarterback. Davenport's going to sub. You guys are going to kind of sub in for each other, and you get to make the money you want to make. Like, that sounds great.
A good thing with Zadarius, and shout out to Easy, because he actually put the film up a couple weeks ago. He could play inside too. Like if you need to get Tyleek rest, you could throw Zadarius on a third down inside, and you have Zadarius, Marcus Davenport, Hutch, and DJ Reader, or you can get DJ Reader out there and you can just go like a NASCAR, just all speed package and just go at the quarterback, right? Like that's where I think Zadarius, it's like, hey, it's not only like in for Davenport, you can have all of them on the field at once if you need to. He did it last year, and Easy went and clipped some of the film of him playing inside, and he looked good. He's a
power rusher. He fits schematically. Like he fits exactly what the Lions want on the other side of Hutch. Like he does. That's why they love Davenport. He's a power guy. So what Zadarius is. Like he obviously at his age, he's always been a power guy, but it's not like he's a speed dude at 32, whatever he is, but he'll get the job done, man.
But you see what I'm saying though with Zadarius, where it's not like one of those situations to where it's just, if he goes, he goes. Maybe he ends up on the Steelers or something. No, it's reports are, and someone in the chat said it, like, yeah, even if it's agent talk to get more money, you just can't, in my opinion, this Lions team, like, you're looking to win a Super Bowl this season. You're not looking to win you want to win one down the line, but like you're all in this year. You got to make sure that he's in this building. After last year's injuries, if you go into the week 1, Jeff, with 3 edge rushers after the situations last year with the edge rusher, the room, like what did we learn from that? Nothing.
Well, I did see Coach would say who would start, Davenport or Smith. I think Davenport would start, but that doesn't. I think it'd be great for Davenport, though. I've said that 1,000 times. It would be great for Davenport. I think Davenport would still start, just because I think it's not about what I think. I think that's what they would do. I think they would start Davenport because they believe in him and Hutch together, and he's been here, and they really do like the fit with him and Hutch. It's just, obviously, the availability is the biggest question. So I think Davenport would start, and then Zadarius, given his age, he would probably come in different packages. And for all the people out there that are saying, and Andrew Jones kind of addressed it, Z had 9 sacks last year. How is that overrated? I've noticed this is with every fan base. It's not just
crazy to me, dude.
Yeah, people do this a lot, and fans do this a lot. It's every team. A player will come to a NFL team, or they'll be on the team, and when they're on the team, everyone loves them. And then when that player departs, they stink. It happens every single year. I mean, I don't know if you notice this as much as I notice this. Players come to the Lions, they're great. It's like, it reminds me of Josh Reynolds. Like when Josh Reynolds was here, everyone loved Josh Reynolds. And then he had the bad game against the 49ers and he was gone, and everyone's like, good, he stinks. Like, I'm glad he's gone. But no one said that when he was making all these, big catches or having big games, anyway.
Well, to be fair, you have 8. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and Zadarius, I just want to say, and then Zadarius is the next one. He comes to Detroit. He has a sack every 2 games, whatever the numbers are. Everyone loves Zadarius. Everyone loves him. Oh, this guy's great. I hope he's here next year. He gets cut. The guy stinks anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get it.
It's one of the crazy. I've said this all the time, Jeff. I've been saying this about fans, and listen, I love the fans. I've been a fan my whole life. But I have noticed that the last few years since we started in this business, that people will always side with the moves that, like, let's say the GM makes or the coach makes, to where no one wants to be the guy that says, hey, that's a bad move, right? Like, you cannot say Zadarius Smith did nothing for you last year. And people will do it. Like, people will be like, he was irrelevant in big moments. That man was 15th in the NFL in pressures. 15th. Like, we're not talking like 30th, 40th. All right, you want to say pressures? Oh, well, does he get home? He was 18th in the NFL in sacks.
With who? With who on the D line?
He was the D line. Like, he was essentially He was a top 20 edge rusher. Obviously, if you rank them, he's not going to be top 20. Statistically, in 2024, the man was a top 20 edge rusher in the NFL.
With Pat O'Connor.
And people are like, and what's crazy to me, Jeff, and this is the issue that I have so much with people who comment on my stuff and say things. Those people will be like, we don't need Zadarius Smith. But at the same time, when they hear, well, the Lions and Brad Holmes are in talks maybe for a trade for a Trey Hendrickson or this, they're like, yeah, give us Trey Hendrickson or give us, it's like, so you want an edge rusher. You want an edge rusher, but some reason Zadarius Smith isn't good enough for you when he's essentially, when it comes to stats, he's top 20 in the NFL. It's like, it's ridiculous. That's why, honestly, the fact that I can't wrap my head around it, Jeff. The fact that Brad Holmes legit has a shot to sign Zadarius Smith, if it doesn't happen, that's just another reason on why I'm like, this might be the biggest swing and miss in Brad Holmes' era. And it's not a bad, Brad, listen, me saying that, it's like, Brad's one of the best GMs in the NFL. He's top 5. But like, if you're ranking like, hey, bad moments, I think that would be a bad moment in his career or in his time with the Lions, would just be missing, like not getting Zadarius Smith back here in Detroit.
Well, Jerry says Z just seems like a great locker room guy. Too, having him back would be a good fit. Yeah, like that's all the reporting from, I mean, not reporting, but directly from the horse's mouth, from Dan and all the players. They love Zadarius. As a human, he's a great human being. And here's the thing I want to address too, just to clarify, because this was already explained. Not, and this isn't a You Just fan, but I'll explain it because there are people that probably still don't know. He says, Booner Jeff, tell me why Z was cut. Do you personally know? Well, everyone should know. He was cut because of the contract he was
current contract.
The current contract was disgusting. The Cleveland Browns are already a disaster, but the way they do contracts is even worse. It's so bad. They had Zadarius, I think, was on he had like a year left on his deal or 2 years left, and there was so much dead money attached to it that they had to cut him, expecting him to re-sign, of course. And he didn't. And that's why Brad, whenever he's asked about Zadarius, the answer he always gives is, we're in contact with him. If they didn't want him, he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say, we're in contact with Zadarius. We're in contact with Zadarius. They're in contact because they like him. They want him back. The contract is what made it hard. They didn't want that contract, even though you see, if you look it up on Cap or whatever website you use, it'll say 1 year, $11 million. But then you have to really look and see how much of a mess it is, after that. So whether he hasn't been resigned because Brad and Zadarius can't come to agreement on the length or the number or whatever it is, that's besides the point. But that's why he got cut. It wasn't because Brad thought, this guy stinks, I'm going to cut him because he stinks. No, It was literally the contract.
I'm sure if there was 1 year left on the contract and it was just a straight up $8 million or $7 million, that they would have stuck it out and said, we don't have to go through all this. I'm sure that's what would happen. I do want to bring two up. Alan said, Booner, more than half his sacks and pressures came from Cleveland, which he was with Myles Garrett on the other side. Zadarius Smith played less games in Detroit. He had one less sack than he did in Cleveland. He had 5 sacks in Cleveland in 9 games, and he had 4 sacks, one less sack in 8 games in Detroit. And he had no one across from him.
Well, I was going to say, who would he play with, Booner? Who would
now
he play
imagine,
with?
and Alan, you know what the best part, hey, you know what? And this is where I love people so much, because you give me my own ammo. I love when fans and people love to comment things and they just say, hey, Booner, I'm putting this on an absolute platter for you. Alan, you know what's awesome? You're telling me right now Zadarius produces that next to Myles Garrett. Guess what? If you bring him on, he's playing with Aiden Hutchinson. Probably just as good of a defensive edge as Myles Garrett. So if you're saying, hey, well, he gets more production with Myles Garrett, let me introduce you to one of my best friends in the world, Aiden Hutchinson. Oh, you're saying Zadarius produces when he's with an elite edge rusher? Oh, well, perfect. We have one. Thanks, Alan. Appreciate the comments. I mean, what are we doing here, man?
Yeah, and Nick,
put that on a silver platter.
No one's saying this either. Like, Nick, I don't think Zadarius is a game changer.
No
one's saying the guy's like,
he's an impact player though. Like he's gonna help this roster out. And I'm sure Nick too. I'm gonna get so fired up tonight, Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm sure Nick's the guy too, saying last year was complaining about the edge and was complaining about getting to the quarterback when we lost to Jaden Daniels. I bet you were, Nick. You would do anything right now to have Zadarius Smith in this locker room.
Yeah, come on, Nick. No one's saying the guy's Lawrence Taylor. I mean, like, what do we? I mean, we're saying the guy can help the line.
Nick said, yes, I was.
Yes,
That's so good, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm with you on all that. There are options. I mean, Steve put it in here. All the guys that are available: Jadeveon Clowney, Zadarius Smith, Shaquille Barrett, Preston Smith, DeMarcus Walker, who the Lions have met with, by the way, Carl Lawson, Yannick Ngakwe, Jerry Hughes, Rashad. Yeah, I mean these guys: KJ Henry, James Smith Williams. I don't know who the last three are. KJ Henry, I do know, but
Davion Clowney would be a good one. I don't want to hate that either.
It's really a short list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really a short
list. Yannick Ngakwe is like, how old? Like 40?
Yannick's had a weird, he's had an interesting career. I liked him a lot. I don't think anyone's touching him right now, to be honest. The only players I like on this list are Clowney and Smith. And maybe DeMarcus is like a depth piece. I don't care about any of these other players. I really don't. Even his brother Preston, like 6 years ago, I would have loved Preston Smith. Like 5 years ago.
Is it Zadarius Smith's brother?
Yeah.
Is it actually?
Yeah, remember you remember those days? They both play on the Packers.
I just didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I never knew they were brothers. I just never.
He hasn't. I don't think he's really played that much football in the last couple of years.
I just never put that together. I guess, and I never heard someone say it.
Are they?
I just thought that.
I thought they were related. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I don't know. I mean, probably. I'm not. Sometimes I just gloss over some of those things.
Maybe there's too many Smiths out there. I thought they were.
I'm pretty sure too. Alex Smith might be like their uncle.
Yeah, there's something in there. There's something in there. Obviously, the Smiths, they're all related. I don't know. They might not be. I don't know. Maybe I just pulled that out of my ass. So forgive me for that one. But
Full Slate Farm said they're not related.
Yeah, that's tough. I thought they were. Thomas,
that's why you said that, dude. You said that, and I was like, I've never heard that before. Like that's crazy.
Thomas, all right. I trust Thomas on that.
I mean, we're getting two sides here.
Yeah,
ETN, I can confirm they are not related.
Okay, all right. You know what? Regardless, yeah.
Justin, they are not related. ETN, according to Google, they are not. Jeff just threw that out there. What made you even like? What made you think that?
It just felt right. I don't know. Jackson Meeks. There you go. They're related. I'll give.
Yeah, dude. I can't believe. Can we talk about real quick the wide receiver room?
They kept. Six.
They kept six. I'm not going to comment. I think they got a squad.
No, say it. What are you?
I had the whole time. I'm shocked still that they didn't go Jackson Meeks. I thought Jackson Meeks was the guy. I did.
I think it comes.
I just had such a bad read on the situation, I guess.
Well, I think it comes down to one. I think the draft you mentioned earlier, I think it was a great point. I think the draft pick, them actually drafting Dominic Lovett helps a little bit. But I think the other thing is he is the only really slot guy they have besides like Amon-Ra. Like they don't really have they have a lot of outside receivers like Tim Patrick, J-Mo, Isaac. They don't. I think, and obviously Lovett can play a little special teams. But you said Jackson Meeks can play a little bit special teams. But I think Dominic Lovett, the way he'll fit in the offense, I think they like too. I think they like a little bit. Raymond too. But I think it just comes down. It was close. I bet it was very close. Probably comes down to just the draft pick, and then got a little versatility to him.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested. Obviously, they're probably going to have a press conference at some point. I'd be interested to see that thought. The biggest thing with it is I just want to see if Jackson Meeks gets through the waiver wire.
He might not. There's probably a team that'll take a chance on him for sure because he put up numbers. He put up numbers in the preseason, so there'll be a team that wants to take a chance on him for sure. And yeah, Khalif can play in the slot as well, but besides Khalif, they don't. That type of player that can return kicks, punt return. I think Lovett fits a lot of that. So
I don't know, but I don't think. See, that's where I differ. Like, why do you need Lovett to kick or a punt return? You have Khalif Raymond. He's an all-pro punt returner.
No, he is. But I think they like what he can turn into. I think they like his upside. Probably. I
guess so. And dude, I didn't know if you knew this too. Like during the Texans practice, there was a new wide receiver 3 in Detroit, and it was like as obvious as it gets.
Yeah, Isaac. He's
No. Khalif Raymond.
Here's the thing about Khalif Raymond. He was playing with the ones. Not last week. Well, last week I don't know.
Can you hear me? By the way, people in the chat are saying.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay.
The week prior, he was playing with the ones.
Yeah, in the Houston camp,
was he back with the ones again?
with the ones, and he was making plays too. Like I believe, unless that was the Dolphins camp I'm thinking of, I believe it was the Houston one as well. Khalif was out there because people were tweeting at me, Jeff. They were like, "Why isn't Isaac why is he not with the ones? Switch him with Tim Patrick." Tim Patrick was with the twos. Tesla and Tim Patrick versus Houston, they were both with the twos. Khalif was the wide receiver 3, and he looked good. Like he was making plays, Jeff. And it looked like they're like incorporating him a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, people forgot about Khalif because he was injured, but I mean, Khalif in Detroit had a season with 600 plus yards. Like,
yeah,
you know
I want to be shocked if he comes out with 500 this year and he's wide receiver 3.
His every year in Detroit, he had almost 600 year 1, 600 year 2, and 500 year 3, and then he was injured a lot last year, so he didn't really produce. But yeah, I mean. By the way, Shift God, surprised Jeff not pushing the Tommy Cutlets to Detroit agenda right now. Yeah, we were joking in the group chat earlier. Boone was not having the jokes in there, but
I had to as well. I had to take some tweets down on our Crunch Time account. People are pushing the Tommy DeVito narrative too much. Shout out Jeff and Klotz.
So I love Tommy DeVito. I don't think that's a significant upgrade, though. I don't think it's not enough.
Such a lateral move.
Yeah, I don't think it's really much at all. Like, I don't think it's enough for him pounding the table. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go there. I'm not. I know
what happens if he comes on your practice squad and he's like your wide quarter QB3. All right, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but he's electric. You know, he's a Dago. That's about where it ends. You know, he's I think they like Kyle. He's been in the offense. And in terms of like skill level, I don't think it's a significant upgrade. I don't. Even if it's marginal, even if it's a marginal upgrade, Kyle's been here. So the offense, you can't make up time. You know, he's been in the offense, so they like him.
I would take him as QB3 again. And shout out Sean too, his agent.
Yeah,
one of the best there is. He's a fan too. He knows the boys.
Legend, dude. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad at it. I'm not going to pound the table for it. It's not.
Shout out Tommy DeVito. I almost want Tommy to come on the team just so Sean's in Detroit again.
Electric, yeah. His client Iffy is no longer in Detroit, so he's not back out here. So we don't get to see the suits. You know, now he's in Miami. So it is what it is. Brandon says, "Have you heard from Adam recently?" Of course, he chirps us all the time. You know,
all the time. He's
chirping. You follow him on Twitter, you'll see him. He'll go on his little rants. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's making sure he's letting us know if he hates or likes our takes, which I appreciate.
Steve says, "The problem I have is that Brad seemed fine last year to not get anyone until Hutch went down. When Davenport went down, he was fine running it with just Hutch."
You know what's crazy too, Jeff? I looked at last year's roster. How many do you know how many D-line they kept this year? Do you have a count on it?
I can tell you right now.
How many total, and then how many like edge and interior did they keep this year?
6, 7, 8. They have 9 D linemen, and it looks like 3 pure edges.
Okay, so then you're saying 6 interior?
Yeah. Not including Josh. Obviously, Josh will be back, but
so last year,
pure edges. This year,
and this actually this hurts me and yours argument about them adding an edge. Last year, Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, and James Houston. That's 3. Mm-hmm. Those were your edges that you kept last year. They only kept 3 edges out of camp. DJ Reader, Ali McNeil, Levi O, Josh Pascal, Mekhi Wingo, and John Kaminsky.
Yeah,
so they went 3 and 6 last year as well. But you could argue the commish coming off the edge. You can argue Mekhi. You can argue Josh and Levi. But they essentially, if you're talking about like tweeners, they kept 6 and they kept 3 edges last year.
Like they're keeping a lot of tweeners this year, like Mekhi, Josh.
They did the exact same thing this year that they did last year.
Yeah, I don't know if I love the tweener stuff. I, never been a huge fan of that. The tweener.
That's been Brad's like philosophy forever too. It's like,
well, you tweeted this out. You were talking about this earlier. These are the edges they've cut. So like these guys obviously are not. Some of these guys are not tweeners. They're just edge rushers. Obviously,
or D line. Yeah, there's some D line in this too.
Yeah, D line in there. Like Keith Cooper, he's more inside, but Broderick obviously inside. But Isaac Ukwu, Nate Lynn, both edges. You know, Agude, he's rushing off the edge. Miles Adams, I think Miles was a
interior.
Just D lineman. Yeah, interior.
Yeah, he was. I like Miles Adams too.
Yeah. So I mean, they did release a lot of edge rushers. So I don't know. That's the part I'm still a little. I can't say that there's no way they go into the season with only 3 edges, like pure edges, because he's done that before, like 3 or 4 guys. Because they have Josh out there, man. And I don't know. I just don't know if I want to see a lot of Josh on the edge. I just don't know if I love that. I just don't. I think Josh is best fit inside. I think we've all figured that out by now. He just doesn't have the speed. Like we've seen, I remember, I think he got hurt against the Bills, and it was a play where Josh ran outside the pocket, and Josh couldn't chase. Like he was just too slow. Like you could tell he's an interior guy. And I think he hurt himself chasing Josh Allen down, which I'm not saying you have to be able to chase Josh down, but it looked like it just didn't look
good. That's where it is a little shocking to me that what's been the issue for this Detroit Lions defense over the last 3 years. It's been like mobile quarterbacks like Lamar, Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels. I could keep going. Like that's what it's been. How do you stop that? You get yourself some fast edges that can come off the edge and that can, 1, contain the pocket, and 2, they can get to the quarterback and they can chase him down. What have you continued to do? Like that's what the league's changing to. What has Brad continued to do?
The tweeners.
Stick on being like, I love tweeners because we can stop the run. It's like, can't you get good edges and stop the run?
Yeah, probably. But yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
Zadarius can do it.
It's the right assessment. They can't stop mobile quarterbacks. I'm not saying every team can do that. Obviously, it's hard to stop a mobile quarterback or try and slow him down, but you can't deny that guys that are tweeners that are on the edge have no chance. They just, you just don't. And Josh isn't really setting an edge. I mean, I get Davenport. Davenport can actually set an edge. You say what you want about him getting injured. He actually playing edge, Davenport can kind of do. I don't, as a skill, like the skill set he has, I'm not mad at. It's just he's hurt all the time. But yeah, I'm done with the Josh Pascal stuff. I think I'm done with that. I'll pass. I'm cool with that. So yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a better idea what's going to happen with
shout out Flannel too, man.
I really don't. Michael says, I thought Lynn had a good preseason. No,
he did. That's why I think it's so. This is where I think people need to realize Nate Lynn had a good preseason. A lot of people projected him to make the team. He's an edge rusher, right? Why would they cut him if they don't have someone else to come in? Put your tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, tinfoil hat.
Love some good conspiracies.
Blase? Is you say your name Blase?
You know that song? Blase, Blase, Blase.
Yeah, I like that.
Ordered up a couple hundred. You know what I'm talking about? Have you heard that?
Oh, yeah.
Great song.
He says, seems like there is Z and a wide receiver being added, at least from trades or waivers. I don't think a wide receiver person. I think they're done. I think they're going to keep the 6. I think.
I agree.
I don't think
practice squad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Add on the practice squad. Probably Tom Kennedy. He's always back. He'll be on the practice squad. I have the final roster. You want to take it? We'll take a peek at this.
Let's do it. I'm pumped up to see.
So Lions put out their little tweet here to show the final roster. So you have quarterbacks. You got Kyle Allen, JG, Mr. Jared Goff, running backs and wide receivers. Running back room is kind of so far we're accurate with it. Jameer, David, Craig, Sione Vaki. And as you can see, Alec Jones is on the right.
That was the first thing I noticed. It's like, that's your algorithm. All right, man.
My algorithm, man. Alex Jones is on my
He's got Future Day for FanDuel, and then he's got followed up by Alex Jones.
But yes. So, yeah, just ignore the Alex Jones part. Running back.
Sione Vaki, baby.
Before we thought. And then the wide receiver, it was actually the 6. I thought the only thing would change is you thought Jackson Meeks, which a lot of people had Jackson Meeks. That was the only swap. But we had the other 5 correct. Tim Patrick, Khalif, Amon-Ra, Isaac, and Jameson. So those they
didn't want people to speculate. They definitely just put those in, like you can hit shuffle on lists. They just shuffled it a couple times so no one could be like wide receiver 1, 2, because obviously running back is 1, 2, 3, 4. He just went Dominic Lovett number 1.
That's a good point. Actually.
Yeah, because can you go back to the quarterbacks on the first one?
It is in order. Yeah.
Yeah, most teams do it in order.
No, it's not.
Oh wow.
The tinfoil hat that one didn't work.
They threw Kyle Allen that QB1. What a change of events, man.
Oh, it's alphabetical order. Okay. No,
are we sure?
I don't like that.
Last name alphabetical.
it doesn't fit the narrative though. I like your narrative.
Yeah,
I like that.
Me too.
Dominic Lovett's wide receiver 1. Basically,
I thought I was up to something. I really did.
Dominic Lovett, Tim Patrick, Khalif. Yep. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
At the offensive line and tight end position, they have Yodi, Decker, Kingsley. So they have a center. Graham, Jamarco. Which the Jamarco one, I'm a little.
You know what? I'm not. He's your third best tackle now.
Because he was kind of injured a lot of.
Yeah, but he was actually decent.
Yeah.
He's your third best tackle, Jeff. What
they
else?
Got Mahogany. They got Manu, the great Giovanni Manu, Tate Ratledge, and Panay. So they got
tight ends.
And then tight ends, they have Sam, Brock, and Shane, which we had the tight ends right when we talked about the tight end position.
Shane had a good preseason too. Shout out to Shane, man. Last year, I don't think he made the roster. I can double check. I do have last year's roster up real quick, but yeah, Parker Hesse made it last year. Shane did not, so good for him.
And then at linebacker, they have Anzalone, Barnes, Campbell, Cunningham, Nowaski, Stewart. That's a good line. I like that linebacker room.
Say that second to last one again.
Trevor Nowaski, SVSU alum.
Love to hear it. Shout out Trevor.
I would assume Malcolm comes back. It'll probably be I'm going to say Zach Cunningham, to be honest.
Probably, but and I told you, dude, when we were with the preseason game on Saturday, a lot of people were saying like with Trevor and Zach, who is it going to be when Rodrigo comes back? Chris Spielman on the broadcast, I told you yesterday, was talking Trevor Nowaski up. They love him in that building. Like they're like his development, everything about him. Like he has taken a massive step forward. They switched him off the ball to kind of get more reps that way. They obviously love him off the edge. So I would have to say Zach Cunningham if they do let go of a linebacker. Maybe they just keep 7 at that point.
Yeah, I see bus driver Brent says Shane is garbage. No block, no rock. Shane can't block to save his life.
I thought Shane had a good camp.
Yeah, and clearly they I think Dan's talked about that. Like he's like the third tight end spot or reevaluating the blocking. You know, he talked about obviously they think Shane's just better than who they had. So can't be mad at it. You know,
Kenny, your boy, got hurt, so maybe that took a little bit away, but Shane did.
And then on the D line here, you see it. This is what I was referencing: Davenport, Aiden, Roy, AQM, Pat O'Connor, DJ Reader, Chris Smith, Ty Leak, and Makai Wingo. Obviously, Aleem will join that list. Josh will join that list. So they'll probably, I think Chris Smith's probably the Aleem placeholder, right?
Most likely, yeah.
So Chris Smith will be out, Aleem will be in, and then when Josh joins, they'll probably be like Pat O'Connor will probably go to like the practice squad or something.
Real quick, can you go back to the O-line? I'm sorry, I just thought of this.
Yeah, go. Here you go.
You know what's a big one?
Who?
Tristan Colon.
Yeah.
I know he was injured and on and off. Shocked.
Yeah, Kingsley beat him out. I mean,
that was a free agent signing. That was supposed to be a piece.
Yeah, Kingsley beat him out, I guess. He's the center. So
I thought of that, popped in my head. Because he was supposed to be your backup center.
It's always tough when guys get injured. It kind of like, if you're not
changes
proven enough,
lot.
It just hurts your chances of
making
the roster. I mean, he didn't even really have a chance, to be honest. But Kingsley made it. There's the D-line and linebacker room, DBs, which this one actually we haven't talked about. We can talk about it now because I don't know what's going on with the DB room because, like, okay, so when you look at the DBs, right, you have Taron Arnold, Brian Branch, Dorsey, Kirby Joseph, Maddox, DJ Reed, Amik Robertson, Rock Ya-Sin. So you look at it and you say, well, they got a lot of corners, but they don't have a lot of safeties, which means Rock Ya-Sin's probably going to play safety. Maddox is probably going to play nickel. So
Maddox will play safety at times too.
And safety at times. So actual corners, they have DJ, Terrion, and Dorsey. And then at nickel, they have Amik, obviously. But outside corner, they only have 3 guys.
Yeah, I would say for like outside corner, at least in my opinion,
maybe
probably. I would say either Ya-Sin or Maddox they can. That's why I think the reason they ended up obviously Maddox and Ya-Sin was always going to make the roster. I think the biggest thing with the DB room to me, Jeff, was like that secondary. The one thing that I noticed was there was that safety battle down the stretch with like Eric Hallett, Ian Kennelly, and Lauren Strickland. And everyone was saying one of those guys, if not maybe 2 of those guys, will make the roster to be safeties. They just didn't keep anyone that was battling it out for that safety position. So like Like the corner, like what corners did you think? Like Nick Whiteside had a chance, but you weren't going to sit there and say Nick's an automatic in. But like those safeties, like it felt like one of those safeties was an automatic in. It was like who has the better camp. And they just didn't go with any of them. They just feel comfortable enough saying, we know Terrion can play outside. We know Khalil Dorsey can play outside. We know DJ Reed and Amit can both play outside. And we know like a Rocky Sin can play outside. That's 5. If you want to count Avonte Maddox too, that's 6 guys that can play outside corner if you need to. And most of those guys can go to the nickel. Even DJ Reed, Rocky Sin, Avonte Maddox, Khalil Dorsey, I'm sure can play nickel. Like, so you do have depth around. I think the more concern is if you lose 2 guys, right, or even 3, you're in a tough spot because, like, say, like, knock on wood, Kirby or Brian go down. All right, now Avonte, Rocky Sin's in those spots. It's just, the takeaway from it, and Dan actually has brought it up a lot, very versatile. Like, they wanted more versatile guys in that secondary. Avonte and Rocky Sin are very versatile. Very. Right. They could play, I think, every position, if I'm just being honest.
Yes.
And they probably did during training camp.
Yeah, that's definitely how they looked at it too. Like Rocky Sin can play outside corner, he can play safety. Maddox can play nickel, he can play outside, he can play safety. So they have versatility. I think to your point, the only thing that would suck is if you lose like
a couple of them. You're in a spot.
Then you're in a tough pinch. Which that's why the practice squad they're going to probably bring Whiteside. They're going to have options there.
Yeah.
But Ryan said they need a legit third safety.
Well, yeah, like if you haven't been to camp, like at camp. Me or Avonte Maddox has played a ton of safety. Rocky Sin played a ton of safety, and they both were playing in the nickel as well at times. So like they got a lot of reps. And if I'm being honest, Jeff, both of those guys are better than like what I think we've had in the past as backups back there.
Yeah, they're going to have Strickland on the practice squad, Whiteside on the practice squad, Kennelly on the practice. Like they'll have like a couple options there. Outside corner safeties, they'll probably keep some of those guys in house. Next they have, and of course the big 3.
Shout out my boys, man.
Yeah.
Those are our guys, man. Those are our guys right there.
The GOATs, man. Jack Fox, Jake Bates, Hogan Head, dude.
Shout out Hogan, too. Finally.
They didn't even need to add this graphic. I mean, we already knew those guys were.
Guys were locks.
Yeah, those guys.
That's a squad right there. We got to walk over a whole round of golf with those 3 guys. The best dudes in the world. They're electric.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, no doubt that special teams unit top in the league, man. The big 3. It's like the Heatles with Miami, but Yeah, it's like the big 3, right?
Who's who? Let's hear it.
I'd say LeBron is probably
Jack Fox for sure.
Yep, Dwayne Wade. I'll give Jake Bates. I think Chris Bosh is Hogan Head. You need him. You need him to win, man. That's just what it is.
Can we give Hogan like Chris and Ray Allen? He gets 2 and 1.
That's fair. Andrew Jones said Vaki can play safety. I don't think Vaki will play safety. I think they're not going to do that.
I think that's over with. I don't think that. I know they drafted him. He played both. He's in that running back room. Especially he's dealing with an injury. He's been dealing with the hamstring all offseason. That's like one of the toughest. I think, dude, the hamstrings, Jeff, it feels like every offseason there's a guy with a hamstring. That feels like it just lingers, dude. It just never goes away.
I think he'll stay at running back. I don't see them going like, you're RB4, but then we need a safety, so you play safety. I think they'll probably just promote a guy from the practice squad to play
for
safety.
sure. Yeah.
This is a good one. Most disappointing cut. You want to play most disappointing, most surprising cut? We can do something like that, or
yeah, let's do our like top 3 maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, because he said most disappointing cut Jackson Meeks. Who is your most disappointing cut so far?
Yeah, I think Jackson Meeks is up there. I thought Jackson Meeks. I thought he earned a job. I really did. I thought Jackson Meeks was on the roster. Another one too. I mean, I don't want to take one of yours. Do you want to go next?
No, go ahead. If you do, we'll talk about it.
Because I just my top 3. It's just obviously Jackson Meeks. Dan Skipper was one, and I understand something maybe with the contract, and I'm sure he's going to be back. Just so weird to me that like there's 3 open spots and Dan just didn't make the team. Does that not kind of? I can't wrap my head around it.
I don't really. It's a tough one now to really process. We have to wait like a little bit to see, but yeah, I'm with you on that. Initially, it is a little confusing for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak.
I think for me, another surprising, disappointing, surprising. Probably, I would throw Nate Lynn in there too. We kind of agreed with that just because how good he was all training camp and preseason. Like he just put a lot of things together, and he plays edge. So I was excited for Nate Lynn. I thought he'd make the roster. He did not. So I would say Nate Lynn for me, probably another surprising one to add to Jackson Meeks. I think Meeks has to be one of the surprising ones.
Yeah.
But I would throw Nate Lynn in there. Me and you've kind of harped on that, but that one was a little surprising. I thought they would keep more on that edge, in that edge room. Not thinking about Zadarius, of course, just looking at it, the 3 edges they have. I thought Nate Lynn would have been one of them, to be honest with you, along with who they have. So
I thought even like Keith Cooper too.
Yeah, he's in there too. Even though he's a UDFA, they really liked him. So that one surprised me.
Even last year, though, like Nate Lynn was a UDFA last season, got hurt, had a chance to make the team, but got hurt.
Yeah,
and then this year gets cut.
Yeah, I was shocked by that one for sure. I think I'll even throw your boy in there because I thought I thought there was a way that Whiteside would have made the team. I don't know. I was a little shocked by that one just because he's another player that's just been battling all camp. And
yeah, I wonder if he's going to get picked up or get on a practice squad.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting.
I think he's an interesting one because he really had a good camp in preseason. He put a lot of it together. So I thought he would have a chance to make the roster. And then I'll throw in, even though I know he'll be back, I'm confident he'll be back and not 100% certain, but Dan Skipper, of course, has to be that one because I thought he was just a automatic. Like, I know the injury stuff factors in. So whatever plan they have in place, but I don't know that one. There has to be a handshake agreement because I don't think they want to lose Dan Skipper at all. So
there must be.
Dan must have gave him like his word. Like, I'm signing back with you guys. Like, there's no way I'm not going anywhere else. Because why wouldn't Ben Johnson or coach that? Like, everyone would want a Dan Skipper. Like
100%, dude. When I went into work today, shout out my guy, Steelers fan Logan. He was like, "We'll take Dan Skipper in Pittsburgh." Like, he was like, "We'll take him." Like, he's a guy that he's a piece. And what's the crazy part about it? He was your 3rd tackle on this team. It wasn't like he was like your 5th, 6th guy. Every rep he got, and I know he was battling through injuries and he didn't have the best camp in the world. You know, though, what you're getting out of Dan Skipper. You know, he's versatile. You know, he is he is literally your culture. I find it hard to believe that Dan Campbell would have been like, yeah, we're good moving on from Skipper. Especially, again, I'll keep saying it, with 3 roster spots just sitting there open right now.
Yeah, the versatility surprised me because they have they have Skipper playing multiple positions, and he plays. What they'll have him do sometimes is he'll declare as like a pass catcher, like the extra tight end. They've had him. Remember the whole Dallas thing? They had the debacle. They've had him in different situations that, like, you got to trust the player to be in. You know,
he's caught a touchdown pass last year for you.
Yeah, he's played guard. He's played. I think he's played both tackle spots. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. I think he's played both tackles.
Yeah, he played left in camp, and then he was on right 10 camp.
So it's like you can't just find. These guys are just hard to find. Like, he could play multiple positions on the O-line, and he could line up at tight end and be an extension of the O-line. Like, that one was a little confusing. And I know Cody said he didn't play too well in camp, but neither.
Manu, I'll say this too, and this is no offense to you, Jeff. Manu he has a ways to go to even get as good as Skipper. That's not like I get it. Like, people might take that as a bad thing with Manu. Skipper's better than Manu right now.
Yeah,
there's not a question. Manu's developing still. Skipper is better than Manu.
Yeah, he's still developing for sure. There's still things he needs to work on. At least it was the opposite of Hendon. At least he had decent performances in the games. But
yeah, he's showed. And Hendon was in year 3. Skipper or Manu was year 2.
Yeah. So he's in year 2 at least, but. Yeah, I don't see Manu playing in a pinch though. Like this year, I don't see them being like, "Hey, Manu, we need you. Come play left tackle for us." I don't see that. They would rather have Jamarco Jones, or no, he's a right tackle, but still, Dan Skipper would be the guy they could play at left tackle for sure.
I could guarantee you, though, honestly, if thinking about it more, there's no way like they didn't have a deal in place. No way.
Yeah, I don't see it. I see.
They might not. Maybe they didn't like his current deal, and then they told him straight up, like, "Hey, we have to do something else." But. He's allowed to choose where he wants to sign. He's not a guy that's on waivers. He's a free agent, so he's able to choose if he wants to come back. It's up to him.
Right. Yeah. So I think those are probably the main ones. There's a lot of guys that I was not surprised they were cut. They were just camp bodies. I know they cut Anthony Pittman, but they bring him back. It's like an annual thing. They cut him, and then at some point they bring him back in like a practice squad or. There's an injury in the linebacker room. They bring him back. So they really like him. So I'm not – it's just kind of what happens. But I'm not surprised by Broderick.
They just keep bringing him back.
Yeah, they always bring him back. They like him. I just don't think. I think every year they're like, dude, you're just missing.
There's something about you, man. We love it. We love
like,
what you bring.
Last year they cut him, and then the Jags picked him up, and then they signed him on off their practice squad, like middle of the year. So, but the Broderick Martin one doesn't surprise me. Like, as much as we argued about Hendon Hooker, I get it. I understand it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say those are super surprising. I'm surprised. The only I don't know, the Colby thing's a little confusing for sure. I know he's on the injury reserve, but it's like you're delaying the inevitable, in my opinion. I just don't think Colby's, and I mean this respectfully, I think he's just taking up a roster spot. Not literally because
he's on IR. Yeah, he's good. He's gonna be at camp next year. Well, no, he won't. He'll be back at camp next year. He's gonna compete. Most likely he doesn't make it. If he's good enough, then okay, fine. But obviously, like, he hasn't showed anything to where it's even close to where you could be like, yeah, he's good enough. Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's shown enough to even be like, well, wait till next year and we'll get no,
and he'll be at camp though. He'll compete. He'll be out there competing. It's probably over.
That one to me is just kind of delaying the inevitable.
Brad and his
those
mid majors or those low majors or whatever you want to call them. He loves those schools.
It was after that video came out where he wanted Puka, and then we looked at it. We're like, well, they did draft Colby ahead of him by like
Broderick, Hendon.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Trey says Derek at Line Syndicate predicted Love it in, Meeks out, BC. Brad always prefers his draft picks. I mean, but here's the thing with that, Brad. I think a lot of GMs are going to favor the draft picks. That's just how that goes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing I respect about Brad, and I'll say it again, man. Like he cut 2 third-round picks in the same offseason. Like, we got to give him credit for that too.
He doesn't care, dude. He will. I didn't think too. I'll say
Hendon. Like,
I didn't think before this week that Brad would ever do it. I'll say that because we haven't gotten to that point yet to where there were players like he let go. Obviously, Antoine Green, that was an injured, the concussion. Like, there have been players that he has let go. He didn't repay Ife Melifonwu because he got a bag somewhere else. That was the first time, like, players that close to the draft in 2023, 2 years ago, where he was just like, we're moving on. Like, we got to.
Yeah. I mean,
we have to do it. And I respect it.
Cut 2 third-rounders, like two top 100 picks, and Streams Only even said that UDFAs make this team. Like, I think this is the first year that a UDFA did make the team. Right? Or is Chris Smith? Maybe he is.
Chris Smith, I believe, is a UDFA.
So it's really just like
I believe. There might be a couple. There might be a couple.
Yeah, no, he was. Chris Smith. Yeah, you're right.
Who else was it? There was another UDFA. What about one of those offensive linemen? There's got to be a UDFA in that O-line.
If there is, it's or UDFA rookie. Sorry, UDFA.
Oh,
rookie.
Okay.
Yeah, like Heath Cooper.
I don't know if one's ever made the team. James Houston was drafted. Yeah, I don't think so.
They've had some UDFA rookies make it where it's like, oh, okay. And they got a cut. Yeah, because
who? I don't think they've ever had one.
No, I'm blanking on Lash. Who was it?
Someone drop in the chat if there's been a UDFA rookie that's made the team in his first year.
Yeah, there is, but
the Lions, not NFL. Like
Lions.
In the last 5 years. Jay Hart said James Houston got cut. I just saw he was on the 53-man roster.
What? You better find out.
What's happening here?
Maybe he comes back.
Oh man, Brad had like a deal in place. Brad sends a 3rd-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys for James Houston.
Yeah, get him some Gatorade.
James Houston made the roster.
Mm-hmm. Quintez Cephas got cut. Oh no!
Probably. What is he in Houston?
Yeah, that's
we don't need a wide receiver. We're good.
Yeah, they don't need that. They really don't.
We're smooth sailing over here.
Ryan says a rookie UDFA have made the Lions 15 years straight.
Who was the last couple years? Can someone give us the names?
Jerry Jacobs.
A rookie though, UDFA rookie. Was Jerry Jacobs not? He was not a rookie last year.
No, he made the roster like 3 years ago or something.
Who was the UDFA last year? I'm asking.
I don't know.
Well, I've got last year's roster pulled up. Hold on. Let me just, because I shout out Tim 20.
I should know this. I don't know this, but
let me see. UDFA rookie. Hendon, no. Jared, no. No running backs. Isaiah Williams. Did we draft Isaiah Williams?
No, he was a UDFA.
Isaiah Williams.
20. Yeah.
He was a rookie last year, wasn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah, it was Isaiah Williams.
Yeah, Isaiah Williams. The chat
I killed that. How about that?
Yep.
Pumped me up.
So that's what it was. But yeah, this year they didn't have a UDFA rookie make it.
Oh, Hogan last year, I guess, was one too. Yeah, shout out Hogan.
But that just shows how good the roster's getting. I mean, guys just can't make. I mean, you can't make the roster. That's what it is. I mean, you're gonna have moments like that where you just like Jackson Meeks. He probably should have been. People would argue he should have been the one. You know, like the UDFA rookie that makes the
trying
roster.
to say it. Keith Cooper.
Keith Cooper, yeah, another one. Those are the two that probably had the best chance, and they just didn't. So, it is what it is. And they cut Isaiah Williams, I think, into the season. They signed Tim Patrick, I think, and then
he got cut. I think
right after that, yeah.
Brock Wright, 2021.
Yeah, this is like well before Brad. This is like a 15-year streak here.
15-year streak's crazy, dude. I saw the Bucks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They kept 3 UDFAs for rookies. 3. That's crazy.
Yeah, I have to look. I want to see who got cut around the league. Because that I have not seen. By the way, some surprise cuts. People are talking about streams only. Nate Lynn and Meeks.
Yeah.
I can host Meeks, Lynn, Kennelly.
Yeah, Kennelly was one, but I wouldn't say like fully, personally.
He was the Grand Valley safety. He'll be on the practice squad. Probably.
He was still battling in and out.
Yeah. And then we have this one's too. Steve Lehman, Brock Wright, Craig Reynolds, Yodi, Jerry Jacobs.
Dude,
I forgot Craig Reynolds too, man. That's another one.
How sick would it be if we were live in the next 30 minutes and Zadarius Smith signs the Lions?
Yeah, I would say it has to be close. I mean, if they have 3 roster spots for the Lions, like
how is he not signed yet?
By the end of the week, they're gonna. I mean, how do they handle that? I mean, you're gonna have to fill those spots, right? Ideally, by the end of they'll probably fill those 3
within the next 48 hours. I would think.
Yeah, shorter than a week, probably. Yeah, like the next couple days. So Drew says, "Do we keep Sione?" Yes, we did. They did. They did keep Sione Vaki. He was. By the way, like the stream. By the way, over 400 plus people in here. Appreciate you all. Hit the like button on the stream. I also put a poll in the chat. Will Zadarius Smith be back on the Lions? Almost 300 votes. 77% say yes, 23% say no. So majority of Lions fans are in on it.
All right, I'm happy. I mean, if anyone wants to see how negative some Lions fans are on Twitter, just go to my post about Zadarius.
So I think Twitter's fake, dude. It's a fake world.
I mean, there's people that we know that are like, no,
bots.
You're an idiot. I guess so, man.
Everyone's bots because the chat. Every time we go to the chat, they just
70% say yeah, and then when I go to Twitter, it's just everyone's no.
It's like 80% say no. Yeah,
it's one of the most. It's the craziest things of all time. Unless like Brad Holmes has like 100 burners and he's just trying to like push the narrative, like no.
Yeah, it's literally what it is. Shout out Sam Flannel, by the way.
Bots. Flannel's been in the chat too today, man. Absolute legend. Shout out Flannel.
Yeah, we're gonna have Flannel a part. We're gonna have him a part of in some capacity on the show. We're gonna have him on as a guest. I mean,
I hope so.
Yeah, we can say it now because he's. But yeah, we want to have Flannel on.
We might. We'll hope so.
Yeah, we love Flannel, dude. He's the absolute goat. So if we could piss him off, we're absolutely gonna do that. I King Horse says, sorry, correction. Vikings kept 6 UDFAs. So I didn't know that. I didn't know they kept 6. The Vikings kept 6.
Might have.
Yeah. By the way, I saw someone said if you keep that many UDFAs, it means that the roster's like flawed or something. No, it means they're good. Like they're good players. I don't know. I wouldn't say. People forget how much of the NFL is actually undrafted free agents. Like, believe it or not,
a lot of them. UDFA. I mean, it happens. That's what's crazy is like guys could get drafted in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round and just get beat up by UDFA.
Yeah, that's how it works. I mean, there's guys that make Pro Bowls, all pros that are UDFAs. So I don't sleep on the UDFAs, man. I'm just saying. All right, well, we got about 25. We got 30 minutes left of the show here. I mean, we still haven't gotten to. We didn't get to it yesterday, but we can save it for later if you want, or you just stick on the roster. But we still haven't brought up the ESPN Top 100 list, which I don't think with the roster stuff, it's just not relevant. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know, man. Should we wait until like tomorrow? I mean, the roster stuff is.
It's like, who cares, dude? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like a part of me just does not give a damn because of this roster stuff is so interesting. I don't know. But then part of me is like, we probably should bring him up, I guess. People are talking about Dolak. Is he cut?
No way Dolak's cut. That man's on my fantasy team. I think it's just like an inside joke when someone yells Dolak in the chat. The whole chat.
No way, dude. Okay, Lucas said, "Fuck no." All right, yeah, that's
Klotz is just spamming Dolak in the chat. Klotz, get it together, brother. This guy's just in there yelling Dolak.
Shout out Eddie Davis, by the way. He said, while the percentage varies on average 10.3% of 2020 NFL rosters, 5.6 of 2021 rosters, 7.7 of 2022 rosters, and 6.1 of 2023, and 1.8 of 2024 rosters were made of undrafted free agents who played at least 100 snaps, he says in the next one. So,
is it going down? I honestly didn't comprehend that whole.
Yeah, it basically it's
shout out.
Down. It's going down.
Shout out Eddie Davis though. That's a great. I wonder if Eddie knew that off the top of his head or if he just looked up AI and he got that.
I'm pretty sure James Harrison was a UDFA. Remember James Harrison played for the Steelers, like Hall of Famer. I think he was just first one that comes to mind. Yeah, UDFA. I think
isn't he James Harrison, Michigan State man, or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know what college he went to. He went to Kent State.
Kent State.
He's from Ohio, Akron.
We didn't need to keep bringing up Ohio guys, man.
The old
we have to as well at some point in the show. We have to talk about the Michigan Ohio State stuff at some point in this show.
You want to do it now?
I mean, it's up to you. I don't want to. I mean, if people are in here to listen to about the Lions roster, I just think we at some point.
How about this? How about we do a Q&A for the roster, and then we'll go into Michigan. So if you guys have any thoughts, concerns, questions for us, or things you just want to get off your chest, comment in the chat. We'll bring them up on the show and talk about them. And then probably like 9:40, we can dive into Michigan versus Ohio State. We can do that because they do. I mean, college football's starting, so it's time to.
Kettle Boy wants it. Can we get a Michigan watch party this weekend? I don't think we'll have one this weekend, but we'll. I think for big games, we might do stuff.
Yeah, big games.
We'll probably do watch parties. Jeff, I don't know. I mean, I think we were probably going to be able to have opportunities to go to camp at Michigan State for some of the big games. They're way down the line, though. We got months until then. But no, we probably won't this Saturday.
Let's see. Jay Hart. He said, how y'all feeling about Strange getting cut from the Patriots?
This is
Strange,
offensive
right? That's
lineman.
The guard. Yeah, that's the
first
guard.
rounder.
Yeah. Bill Belichick, they drafted. Yeah, Cole Strange, I think his name.
I really don't care, to be honest. I'm not familiar with how he's been in the NFL.
Yeah, clearly. I don't know enough about him as like his development or anything, but I don't have an opinion on that, Jay Hart. I just know that.
Shout out Jay Hart, though.
When that pick was announced, the only reason why people didn't call for Bill's head is because he's Bill. That pick was insane at the time. It didn't make a lot of sense. But Dennis G says 10-7 probable ? I don't know about probable. I don't think it's I don't think it's crazy, but I don't think it's probable. Probable means more likely. I think
it's like the floor.
I would agree. That's probably
10-7 is the floor. I think it's crazy right now, Jeff. If I'm just being honest, I know we're gonna have these conversations this week and then next week, obviously, with predictions before the season starts. I can't wrap my head around like how many people are so down on the Detroit Lions. It is one of the most ridiculous. Like Mike Tannenbaum today. Did you see his rant?
No, I only saw Jason McIntyre's.
Well, Jason McIntyre, idiot as well. That's your guy. You guys love these guys are the worst, man. I'm telling you guys, and these like who think that they're giving out the hottest takes in the world, and they're just like it's like people like they know that they're giving out bad takes. It's like, hey, I know what's happening. You're wrong. Like, yeah, I know I'm wrong. Like, why do we have to? Why? At least, bro. At least, like, believe what you're saying. Like, there's no way that guy believes what he's saying. And same with Mike Tannenbaum today. Him going on first take, and Stephen A was like, "You're an idiot." Him going on there and being like, the only team that can compete with the Commanders this year is the Packers and the Bucks. I believe was the two teams. And Stephen A's like, have you forgot about the Eagles and the Lions? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you that dumb? It's just like people want to be like, and that's why, Stephen A said some crazy stuff. Stephen A, the reason I respect him, I think he gets paid so much is because he actually believes what he says. Like when he hears someone say something stupid like that, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's the Lions and the Eagles. Like at least Stephen A is like aware. He might say crazy things. He's aware though. These guys, they want to get a check, and they just say things so they get clicks, so they can get a check. I think it's like it's selling your body, man.
Yeah,
that's essentially what these guys are doing.
Tannenbaum's had a rough 2 months. He's just been
so this McIntyre guy and Colin Coward and Big Nose Wright, all these guys.
Well, yeah, the Jason McIntyre said Jalen Hurts was the what was it? Something about him being like the best like mobile dual threat quarterback, something like that.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
the man threw for 2,900 yards last year.
Yeah, it's like
Lamar threw like 16 touchdowns and like 10 interceptions. Like,
Jane Daniels is a better dual threat quarterback than Jalen Hurts right now. It's just like it's not even.
Jalen Hurts is like the 9th or 10th quarterback in the NFL, and that's just if you say he's higher, you're an idiot.
Eddie Davis says, does J-Mo get a second contract?
No.
I was going to say I was going to be a little yes, but not with the Lions.
Well, yeah. I mean, in the NFL, he will. Yeah,
that's the technical. But I agree with you. Yeah, I don't think the Lions can afford him. It's not his nothing to do. You could take it as a hate, whatever you want. I'm actually giving him love. I think he's that good. They just won't be able to afford him. So I would say no on that, unfortunately. But you never know. Maybe what people say. They always say, remember the discounts. This guy will take a discount. This guy will take a discount. If there's someone you hope takes a discount, it's Jameson Williams.
Before I started doing like sports talk, Jeff, I used to think anyone would take a discount. And then as soon as I got into it, within like 6 months, I realized there's no such thing as a hometown discount. There's no such thing.
Especially for a first contract, or second contract, but first, hey.
It's such a myth.
Yeah, no.
And as much as you think there's one, like look at Trey Hendrickson. All right, he'll take one for a year. Guess what? You're still going to be in a bad situation and trying to figure that thing out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, we got Motor City Derek mailbag NFC North record predictions for Detroit. We're actually going to do that as
next. I think next week is like we actually throughout this week and next week we'll do all of our record predictions, division winners, awards. That's kind of the next 2 weeks once the dust settles from roster cuts and all of that. That'll be kind of we'll do our college football playoffs predictions probably this Friday. We'll do things like that. And by the way, too, Casey Turner, bro, Hurts won the Super Bowl. Do you know how many quarterbacks won the Super Bowl and weren't top 10? Like, just because you won a Super Bowl doesn't mean anything. Like, what are you talking? Like, yeah, it's good for him. He's won a Super Bowl. That's why he's like 9 or 10. He's good. He's good at his job. He's not one of the elite quarterbacks. If you watch the game and actually understand, you would know he's not one of the top 10.
I think you could argue he's in the back of the top 10. I wouldn't be mad if someone's like
that's where I would put him.
But he's not. I agree. You can't just base it off super because then we can go with Joe Flacco. We can go with some other quarterbacks that won Super Bowls that you wouldn't necessarily bring them up in conversation.
He had one of the best rosters in NFL history. You're welcome.
He's been to two. He won one.
And each time's had great rosters.
I think what Jalen Hurts does really well is he knows how to win. I wouldn't say as an individual player he's like world. He knows
how not to lose.
Yeah, he's a good if you give him a good team, he knows how to keep him afloat and make plays.
I can't respect someone saying Jalen Hurts is a top 7 quarterback in the NFL though. I can't.
Yeah, like Weezy D, I appreciate the $2, my friend, but Hurts better than Daniels, Stroud, and Burrow.
He's not. He's not.
You know what I mean? And ETN, it's not discrediting Hurts. It's the same thing with anyone. Like I think Hurts is in the same category like Goff. Like Goff, he knows how to win, man. That's why.
But the difference between like Goff and Hurts is like Hurts threw for 2,900 yards. Goff is throwing for 4,500 yards every year and 35 touchdowns. Hurts has never thrown for more than 20 something. He's thrown for 20 touchdowns once in his career. Once, I believe, maybe twice. But he's not. I don't even think Hurts has thrown for over 24 touchdowns in his career. He's never even touched 4,000 passing yards. What are we talking about? It's not even close.
Yep.
It's not close.
I agree with that.
Jared Goff's over Jalen Hurts every day.
Getaboy One says, help fellas, do I draft Ravens or Houston defense? I'd go Houston.
Yeah, I'd go Houston as well.
I got the Steelers in mind, but
in that division, 100%.
Peaceful Tim, how many players did the Lions keep on cut day last year?
52.
So they had one open.
Off the top of my head, I believe it's 52. I don't lock that in. I believe they had one roster spot open after cuts last year.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember they had an open spot. So I do remember that conversation. Well, I think that's what Brad usually does too. Trey says, what roster cut do you think we're going to regret the most? Regret?
Jackson Meeks.
Yeah, I mean, let's just take we'll just take Skipper out of it because we think he'll be back, but just straight up cut that we don't know if he'll be back. Probably Jackson Meeks would be the one. Yeah, probably go Meeks with that one for sure.
Yeah, I like the Meeks one.
He was the best player they straight up cut. Like, I'm not talking Ahmed and Dan Skipper. I'm saying straight up release.
Waived.
Waived. Yeah. It would be definitely him. Let's see here. Here, Weezy says, imagine Hurts with Gibby, J-Mo, and Monty. Okay, here's the thing. We can't. I'm with you with this whole Jalen Hurts thing, man.
Yeah, I can't. I think Jalen Hurts is, and you know what, Jeff? I had the argument 3 or 4 years ago. Like Jalen Hurts, I said he was going to win MVP, and he almost won it. It's the roster, and it's not a knock on him. It was, hey, he can win, and he was putting numbers up on both sides of the ball at that moment. He's just, to me, he's probably 8 through 10 for me. That's where I would put him, and I don't think that's a disrespectful thing at all. I think it's just obvious. And you can just look at his numbers and say that.
If Goff won Super Bowl MVP, you'd all be calling him elite.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I don't know if I would just because he wins Super Bowl MVP, I wouldn't call him elite.
I can't wrap my head around, if you're going to say a guy's a top 6 quarterback, top 5 quarterback in the NFL, he's never thrown for 4,000 in 5 years or 6 years or 5 years in the NFL. He's had his most touchdowns in a season is 23. How do you put a guy up there?
And for the chat talking about him being clutch, he is clutch for sure.
He makes plays.
Yeah, he's clutch. I'm not going to argue that, but
top 10 is good. Top 10's not bad. It's good. It's a good spot to be in.
Yeah, he is clutch. But again, just being clutch does not just immediately put him in a top 5 conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's Sam Flannel. In my opinion,
Jalen Hurts, best quarterback in the NFL. Flannel, you're an idiot. Idiot.
Come on.
Pitt's best quarterback is ridiculous. A quarterback that has never thrown for over 3,800 or 4,000 yards.
That guy.
I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. The man's thrown, dude. Jeff, let me just. First year played in 15 games. Maybe we could just take that away. There was 1,000 yards. Maybe there was something there. Second year, 3,100 yards, 3,700, 3,800. They're for 2,900 yards this year. 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, he didn't need to, and that's fine.
Yeah, Saquon. He benefited off the best offensive line in football and Saquon Barkley. Fine. But let's not put him at the 5th best quarterback just because he won a Super Bowl. And Flannel, if you're going to do that, then Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, whether he got lucky or not. Jalen Hurts got lucky to have the best O-line in Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Combined stats too, rushing yards. He had 600 rushing yards. Lamar Jackson had 1,000. I mean, Lamar Jackson runs for 800-900 every year. So does Josh Allen. And you're going to put him in those conversations? Josh Allen, Jeff, is throwing for 4,500 yards every year. He's running for almost 1,000, and he's scoring more touchdowns than Jalen Hurts, and he's passing for 40 touchdowns.
You know what, Boone?
It's not close.
Let's not even bring up Josh Allen because people would say, well, he's not Josh Allen. We'll bring up Jane Daniels. He's a rookie, right? As a rookie, he threw for basically 3,600 yards, 25 TDs, and rushed for 900. So it's
so every stat he's had better. He beat almost every Jalen Hurts career high his rookie year. Almost every, and he had a worse offense. He had worse weapons and a worse offensive line.
Yeah, no, I agree.
How dumb can you be to say Jalen Hurts is better than Jaden Daniels?
You could even say Jane Daniels for sure, better quarterback. We're just talking about an individual level. That's literally
it's crazy.
Talk about team success.
He literally, Jeff, every single. Can you say those things again real quick? Jane Daniels.
He had 3,600 passing yards, 25 passing TDs, 900 rushing yards. You know what I'm saying? He
had every single. The only thing, he was 200 yards behind Jalen Hurts' career high in passing. Everything else, career touchdowns or most touchdowns in the season, Jaden Daniels beat him. Most rushing yards, Jaden Daniels beat him.
Yeah, and it's again, you're factoring in stats and looking at watching Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is again a top 10 quarterback. He's good. No, we're not saying he's not good.
What if you put some of these guys on that Eagles team?
yeah, it's just like, I mean,
It's over.
and like, even like, you can't, we're not doing that. Like, well, Sam Darnold's better because he had better stats. No, it's not what we're saying.
I
Obviously,
mean,
Sam
when
Darnold-
people say stuff like that, that means they know they lost the war, and they're just trying to be idiots and trying to act like, well, this. Like, no, that's such an irrelevant comment.
because Sam
Like,
Darnold's
you
not
bringing
a
that
top
up, Klotz, makes me know you just have nothing else in the tank to say.
Yeah,
Like, you're
'cause
done.
We started
It's
by
the
saying
dumbest
Hurts
thing
is
in the
top
world.
10. He's top 10. He's just,
Oh yeah, he's a good quarterback. He's not
good,
bad.
yeah. It's just,
I would rather have Jaden Daniels. I'd rather have Justin Herbert. Put Justin Herbert in that Eagles offense. They're still winning a Super Bowl. Like, there are players that are better than him. It's a fact.
I agree with that. How about we talk about Michigan? Speaking of quarterbacks, because what do you want to bring up? Michigan, Ohio State. What's going on? Because I know I saw the Dave Portnoy stuff after you mentioned it to me today, and Ohio State's getting ripped like a new one.
They might be the dumbest program of all time.
All I've seen on my timeline is Ohio State hate today. Speaking of Lukas Klotz, I mean, they've been getting roasted bad.
Well,
really.
I could break down this whole scenario.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dave Portnoy on Fox Noon kickoff. It comes out that Ohio State, I don't know who reported it originally, but someone reports that Ohio State completely banned Dave Portnoy from going to the game, which is crazy. So when that report comes out, obviously everyone's tweeting things out. Ohio State gets a lot of backlash, and everyone's like, hey, this is the softest program of all time, as Coach Walk said, which they are. As soon as that happens, the AD reaches out to someone to put a statement out, and another reporter puts a statement out and says, hey, the AD said they never banned anyone, and the only reason Dave Portnoy is not allowed to go to or is not going to the game is because Fox Noon Kickoff isn't having him on the set inside the stadium. So he essentially just pinned it all on Fox and said Fox Sports is the one that isn't letting him in. A day later, Jeff, Dave Portnoy does a video and goes, all right, actually, he goes, let me clear this up real quick. Barstool was supposed to do their college football show with Fox Noon in Columbus. They had all of their production, Jeff, ordered, set up, ready to go. They had hotels booked, flights booked, everything booked to go to Ohio State. Dave was supposed to be on the desk. He was supposed to do everything. A week ago, they get a call. Ohio State's not letting you do it. Not just Dave Portnoy into the stadium. Ohio State's also not letting the Barstool College Football Show do their show in Columbus. And they're also not able to do it. So Dave said today in his video, he essentially just goes, we had to cancel all of the production. And since we had to cancel it a week before, they're like, we had to pay fines for kind of the late fee. So they had to pay fines for it. They had to cancel all their flights, all their hotels, because Ohio State, the AD, said that they can't do it on their campus. And Dave's not allowed to do it. So this guy, Jeff, this is the program that Klotz grew up rooting for. This is the type of scumbags that they have in Columbus, Ohio. Like capital S scumbags. They have people that are coming out to, whether they like the team or not, going out there to push this game out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying they're supporting, but bringing light to this Texas. Like this Ohio State, Texas, whether it's good or bad, right? They're out there.
Yeah.
To call up and say, hey, they're not allowed here, go cancel everything. Dude, I would be that. And then the fact that they did that, and then the AD comes out and goes, yeah, it was Fox the whole time, and pins it on Fox.
Which they have a partnership with.
Yes. And they pin it on Fox, and then Fox is like, we didn't do it. It's you guys. And then Dave was like, in the video, he was like, I don't want to ruin our partnership with Fox before it even starts. But he was like, it wasn't Fox. Like, Ohio State told us we can't be on the campus. So he's like, I don't know.
So
it's ridiculous, dude.
They're soft and they don't want to take accountability. So they're soft and they're scared of accountability.
Yeah, man.
Which if I'm Dave, I don't know everything, but I don't know what his situation is. If that was really the case and you can't do a show at Ohio State, they've done shows in Ann Arbor at bars. I'd find like a big ass bar and just move a show there and just be like, we're going to do a show whether you like it or not.
A lot of those bars are on the campus though. So it's like, it's hard to.
Oh, that's true. So that's still the area. I would be Patty. I'd be like, we're doing a show. It just won't be at Ohio State. We're going to find a spot to do it. Even if they do it like.
It just sucks because you saw their productions, dude. It's probably thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that they had to pay, and it's embarrassing. I think it's one of the more embarrassing things I've seen in college football recently. Probably the most.
Yeah. Oh, don't you do that. Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Might be the most embarrassing thing in the last decade in college football.
Yeah, that is way worse than anything, obviously, Michigan has done in the last year or two, probably.
And I think Dave said that he wanted to do for Fox Noon. You know how they do a lot of different interviews and sit downs? I think he said he wanted to do a sit down with Ryan Day, and I think that Ryan Day and them said no. Like, we're not doing it.
What is wrong? Like,
I don't know if that's confirmed, but I remember hearing a couple months ago that Dave, when the Fox thing came out, he had mentioned like week 1 is Ohio State. They're going. So,
yeah, what's your overall feeling? I mean, Ohio State named a starting quarterback. They got their starting quarterback. It's the dude
Cyan or Sayan, whatever his name is.
That looks like the brother from Step Brothers, Will Ferrell's brother in that movie. When they sung "Sweet Child of Mine" with Guns N' Roses in the car. Forgot his name. Is it Derek? I think. But he looks like that dude. I don't know. It's the white kid. He's pretty good actually. I don't know. Lukas would know more than me. But they named him a starter. They got the best now sophomore in the nation.
Yeah.
You might have the best freshman now.
We do. Bryce Underwood is now he has been named the starter, and I'm pumped up for it. Like this is Ohio State's shaking in their boots again. Which crazy too. You know this? Just realized today, clicked like Ohio State's just never beaten Michigan this whole decade. It's one of the most incredible things.
Yeah, they in that game. Is that an end of the year game?
Last game every year.
End of the year game, yeah. I love that, by the way.
4 straight. Michigan's won 4 straight. 4 straight, man.
That's tough.
The national championship literally means nothing if you just lose to Michigan.
It was funny. I saw the Jets posted this video. They were doing this prank on their players. I don't know if you saw
that.
And they were hiding like college hats behind a Jets hat. And they're like, "Can you sign this?" And it was the rival. Every Ohio State alumni got so mad.
Just threw it. Yeah. I didn't realize they had so many Ohio State players too.
There is like a deep, like Garrett Wilson. He never beat Michigan while he was there, so you could tell like when he saw a hat, he's just like, dude.
Garrett Wilson never did.
No, because that was he was there for 3 years, and like
I think he beat Michigan.
Did he?
Garrett Wilson, yeah, because he's been in the league 3 years. 4 years. We've only beat them 4 straight.
Maybe they beat you once.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he lost his last 2 years, I think, with Stroud.
But all the guys last year, like they never beat Michigan. So they all were trying to we need one last chance. None of them. Jack Sawyer, didn't beat Michigan.
Yeah. That was what it was. Justin Fields. Okay, that was Justin Fields and Wilson. Okay. I'll get that is fair. Okay. I did forget about that. Jack Sawyer didn't, unfortunately. But they're still going to be good, though. Ohio State's still going to be really good.
No, they're going to be good. I think Michigan's going to be good. I think Ohio State's going to be good. It's going to be I think the Big Ten's going to be.
Did you hear what Bryson? We hear what Bryce said? Bryce had the quote like the other day. It was like a week ago, I think, where he said, "There's never been a freshman like me." Did you see that one? Yeah,
I did, and I believe it too, man. I believe it.
I knew you ate that up, dude.
I believe it. There's something about Bryce Underwood, and the fact is, we have him for the next 3 years. But teams are scared. If he is in year 1, let's say he's 60% of what he's supposed to be as a freshman year 1, Michigan's a contending team. They're a top 6 team in college football. If he's 60% of what he can be, like his peak of college.
Yeah.
We just need half of what, you know what I mean? Like let him keep developing. By the time he's a junior, if he's at almost 100, if he's 50% of that talent that he has, like think about if we had Bryce Underwood last year in an offense. They actually have a chance to be in the college football playoffs. Like they were 2 wins away from doing it, and they had 0 offense. So now you run it back essentially. I mean, I know the defense is a little different, but
and you just got a what was a 4 or 5-star running back that committed
5-star, the best running back on I think it was like the best rated running back that Michigan's gotten in like this era of football.
I did see that too, which that's. You know what? You know who the running back coach was for Michigan? I believe he was an Ohio State running backs coach. Came to Michigan. I could be wrong with that, but I go down some rabbit holes. But I think it was the former Ohio State running back coach comes to Michigan, gets the running back instead of him going to Ohio State. Did you see Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery sat down with a pivot Did you see what Jameer said? He almost went to Ohio State.
Did he? I didn't
Yeah.
see that. No.
He almost went to Ohio State. I don't know if Lucas knew that or not. Lucas would have freaking he would have been hyped, but he decided to go to Georgia Tech.
I did see that, and there was a reason behind it. I can't remember what it was.
I think he got to stay closer to home, and he loved Tashard Choice. I think that's the big.
Was it Tashard Choice? I thought there was something else. Thought I heard this story before.
But he almost went to Ohio State. And Peaceful Sims said, "Yeah, I seen that. They wanted him to wait though," and he said, "Nah." Yeah, Lucas would have went crazy. So even Jameer almost went there, but it's maybe Michigan get back in getting those top running backs, man. Help out if you can help out Bryce and get him these type of players, dude. It's gonna be scary, and you get him some weapons.
Well, I mean, it's easier to recruit, especially players like that, when you have a Bryce. So there's going to be in the next 3 years, there's going to be better wide receivers, running backs, like offensive line, in the transfer portal, more players. Now going forward, once people see what Bryce can do this year, more transfers are going to want to come in and play with him. So it's and defensively as well. Like that's still like, hey, we have one of the best offenses in college football, and we've been one of the best defenses. They're going the next 3 years they're set up.
Well, you have to sell to players that we can develop you, and you'll become better. It's the same thing. It's offensive players at Ohio State. It's the reason why if I'm a quarterback, I'm looking at Ohio State, or I'm looking at USC, or I'm looking at some of these other schools. I'm not looking at Michigan. Now it might be different. If Bryce Underwood pans out and he's in a favorable offense and he gets drafted top 10, like I think JJ McCarthy actually kind of helped that a little bit because JJ didn't have all the stats, but JJ went top 10, top 11, whatever he went, 12. So if Michigan now turns into that school, like Bryce has a successful career, more quarterbacks will commit. And when you have good quarterbacks, receivers commit. When you have good offensive players, then you have running backs, offensive linemen. Like you guys will always have good offensive linemen and good defensive linemen, good DBs. Like you always have good defensive players. But the quarterback might be that last.
You know what's going to be so bad too, though, for Ohio State this year?
What?
They made the worst hire in all of sports.
Matty P?
Matt Patricia.
Yeah, man, Matty P, it's going
to be the downfall.
Yeah. Penn State took their DC, man. Good old Penn State with Drew Aller.
That's a great I think that might have been the best DC in college football.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he went to Penn State. Like that's like what a loss in conference.
Let's get to mailbag. First mailbag question. How about he said, now that Goff was voted 16th out of 100 by NFL execs and players, can you explain your denial of his abilities? Booner? It's always you, bro.
Can you say something real quick? Does Atar, does he watch the show?
Yeah, I don't think he
Does he know I'm like the biggest Jared Goff guy in Detroit sports media?
I think it's just because you rank him 8th, I guess, out of best quarterbacks, and even though we all agree with that, but players and coaches 16th best player.
And Atar, like, something's got to be wrong with my guy, man. I don't know what it is. He just does not listen. It's the worst.
Was he was ranked the 16th best overall player?
I don't know if that came out yet. I don't know 16 came out today. I thought it was just 17. Yeah, I don't think he's been on the list yet, and I think they got through up to 16. I don't think him and Panay have been ranked yet. Unless it is. Atar's saying it's out. I haven't seen it. I didn't see it.
Wow.
But you got to stop putting me in that. You got to stop putting me in that category.
Yeah, you've been one of the biggest like golf.
Because you obviously don't watch the show. Like if this is the thing. Like Atar, I want to like trust circle real quick, Jeff. I want to include Atar on the show. I think he supports us a lot. But when he says stupid things, it's hard to take it seriously.
By the way, I just
you see what I'm saying?
Well, I just looked at ESPN's top 100 from.
It's not ESPN. It's not ESPN, Jeff.
Oh,
it's
okay.
NFL. Yeah, you put that in the prep. That the NFL top 100 is the actual one.
Okay, NFL top 100.
Yeah, 17 came out today. It was Dexter Lawrence. I haven't seen 18 was Derek Stingley. I haven't seen Jared Goff. But again, Atar, I want to be able to listen to you, man. Yeah, I don't think 16 got released. I don't see it. It's going to get released tomorrow.
Okay, I didn't see that. I'll keep an eye on that. If he's ranked like top 15 in the entire NFL, that's huge.
Well, he's not on the list yet, and they haven't released the top 16 yet.
Yeah, because Hurts is 19. So
yeah,
he's 19.
Unless he gets left off the list, which is highly, that would be nuts. That would be insane if he gets left off the list.
Damn, that'd be actually pretty crazy. Lucas says, who will have more receiving yards this year, Matthew Golden or T-Mac?
Great question. I don't know. That's a really good question. I want to say Golden, just based off he's going to be wide receiver 1. But T-Mac's good. I'm going to go Matthew Golden.
I agree with that. I think T-Mac, I think it'll be, I just think the thing I'm out of for sure with is T-Mac. Like, I think in different offenses, I can see him having a massive year. I just don't know with Bryce Young yet. I think they'll be decent this year. I just don't know. I hope they feed him the ball. Now, if T-Mac was on the Packers or something like that, I'd probably go T-Mac, but I think Golden, they drafted him in the first round. They're going to give him targets.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I think it's just situation matters a little bit, and I'm going to go Golden on that. Unless Bryce has a big year. I mean, who knows? We'll see. That guy up north says, mailbag, when can I look forward to Jeff and Sam in the morning and then Lukas Klotz show featuring Booner in the evenings? That's not happening. But we'll talk about all that stuff later on. Okay.
We've got some things planned for the people.
Yeah.
Things will be happening in the next couple of weeks.
Which, you guys
just stay tuned.
You guys will enjoy what we have planned. So just stay tuned for that. Xavier D. Mailbag, who did each of you pick first in fantasy? I had the 10th pick, and I picked Amon-Ra St. Brown. So
I didn't. I had keeper league, so I didn't.
Oh yeah, you have mine wasn't a keeper league, so I picked Amon-Ra and then Christian McCaffrey back to back, which I love. I wanted Amon-Ra so bad this year. We're gonna see. He's gonna go off. Lucas Milbag, who had the number 1 pick in the NFL draft next season, can't use Browns. Well, Saints, obviously. Did you see the Saints named Spencer Rattler?
Yeah, I did, man. It's a heartbreaker.
No,
but you know what they said? You know what they said? Tyler Shuck. They said he's our future, though. They said, we want him to develop. They said, that's our guy for the future. And then his agent tweeted out and was like, I love the plan. That's what he said. That's like the best support from your agent, just to see a tweet being like, I love the plan that they have for my guy.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you this right now. They have the number 1 pick next year. Shuck, hit the road, bro.
I mean, Klotz. I mean, Klotz is like, besides these, those are the teams who are going to be last. He's like, who's going to have the 3rd pick? Are you just going to ask us until we get to like the 10th pick?
Etienne said he's like 34. There's not much developing.
Come on, Etienne. Come on.
Hey, he's got a little hooker to him. You can't deny that. He is like 26.
Just let the man work, dude. Come on. He's got an arm.
Oh, that's funny as hell. Yeah, if you're going besides the Saints, the Browns, you should name I'll pick all these.
Klotz is like, we say a 13. Klotz like, what about the 4th pick? What about the 5th pick?
Yeah.
Like, but are we going to the 10th?
Make a bold one. Give me. Ooh, what's a good one? I'm trying to think. Dolphins.
Okay, I'll pick a new one.
No. If you agree, we can.
I think the Dolphins. That was the first team I looked at.
Why not?
I think like let's name some teams: the Dolphins, the Browns, I want to say Titans, but they're going to be down there again. I feel like the Titans, maybe Saints, the Jets. The Jets will be down there.
The Jets with Justin Fields, that's going to fail miserably.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Molly Mall says sleeper pick to suck is the Jags. Hey, I mean, every year you could pick on the Jags. ETN says Giants because of that schedule. I think I'm not going to we'll get to the things. I think the Giants can be decent. Is that crazy? Like, I'm talking like 7, 8, 9 wins, something like that.
I don't know about that many, but I think like they're not going to be like dead last.
That D-line, they might have the best D-line in football.
Yeah.
And then Russ is Russ, like he's mid, I think the Giants are going to be competing. Like, just like Lucas said, they'll be competing in every single game, man. So their schedule is tough. Doesn't fit my narrative, ETN. So I'm not going to look at the schedule.
I still think the 49ers, man. I actually put a bet on today because it was futures day on FanDuel. I don't know if you saw that, Jeff. And you essentially, if you put like, they gave you a certain amount, and if you, whatever it is, you get like instantly the money back, like right away. I put a bet in. It was the Lions to win the division, the Bucks to win the division, the Chiefs to win their division, the Bills, obviously. And then I took the 49ers to win 10 games.
Which I love. Love that.
And it was like plus 2,000. No, plus 3,400. No. Plus 2,400. It was basically 10 to win 250. So it feels easy. The Lions, Bucks, Bills, Chiefs, and then the 49ers to win 10. That seems like an easy bet to me.
Yeah, but by the way, if you got any futures, that's a future to take. So yeah, should definitely take that.
Feels like a good one.
Hey, appreciate you all as always. Tomorrow we got the DOC. Boone is out tomorrow. It is the Jeff Iafrate and Doc. It feels like Doc. We just rotate. And last week you got the Doc.
You were gone, yeah.
Now I'm with the Doc. It'll be a good show. So tomorrow
you guys will have a good show.
Boone gets a well-deserved night off, and then he'll be back. So tomorrow I'll hold down the fort. Me and the Doc will be holding it down. So tune in tomorrow. Come hang out with us, get your merchandise, and subscribe because we're getting close to 15,000. So let's keep pushing. Much love as always. We will catch you guys tomorrow.
Love you guys.
Peace.